You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1600 Chapter 364, Wave to the Earth Roll 2. Who are you? He shouted. Something was wrong. How did this guy know multi-divine literature battle techniques? As a genius who had fought against the human race, he knew some things. Multi-divine literature battle techniques, and such a powerful multi-divine literature battle technique. Not many people knew it, so this Chui Lang probably didn't know it. I'm your father. Su Yu roared and slashed down with his saber, causing the air to explode. The six-winged celestial race kept retreating at an extremely fast speed. He was shocked and confused. Who was he? The multi-divine language system must die. This was the oracle of the celestial race. Just as he was thinking, Su Yu's cultivation technique suddenly changed, and the primordial divine art exploded. With this change, the six-winged celestial race's figure suddenly stopped. The cultivation technique and aura suppression from the celestial race's controller. The six-winged celestial race's expression changed completely. No. Primordial celestial race. Impossible. You are not Chui. Boom. At this moment, Su Yu slashed down once again. With his full strength, willpower and yuan qi surged into the saber at the same time. A saber light flashed and projected into the void. It was not as powerful as Huang Teng, but it was not weak either. With a bang, the saber slashed down and the six-winged celestial race was instantly torn into pieces. The six wings weren't broken, but they were still trying to fly away. Su Yu's divine flames flew out, and with a hum, he started a fire in the air. Ah! An incomparably miserable cry rang out. In the next moment, the six wings were turned into ashes and completely disappeared, leaving behind a few pieces of flesh and blood. Su Yu casually grabbed them and got some blood. And at this moment, the experts who were suppressed by the illusion broke the illusion one after another. Once the illusory realm was broken, these living beings were shocked. Dead? In an instant. In an instant, Su Yu and the six-winged celestial race exchanged blows at an astonishing speed. The two exchanged less than 3 sentences before the other party died. Run! With an explosive shout, even the Kunpeng that had transformed into its original form instantly fled. It was too terrifying. Run! And at this moment, a small cloud had formed in front of Su Yu. With a glance, Su Yu directly destroyed the cloud with a palm. It was a trash heaven yuan qi. What was the point of having this thing? It was a waste of time. Run! Su Yu shouted coldly, you dare to join forces with the gods to kill the humans. You are quite brave. Are humans something you can provoke? The gods were powerful. What were these small races? Even if there were some of the top 100 races, such as the Kunpeng, the humans were not weak races. There were dozens of them who were invincible. These races dared to provoke the humans. They were tired of living. At this moment, little Hairy Ball attacked. The last one who escaped was stunned. In the next moment, he slashed down. With a PFFT, the corpse was split into 2 halves and fell. Before it landed, it was taken away by Su Yu. The remaining 6 were escaping at all costs. Even if there was a 9th-level Ling Yun expert among them, he was still escaping rapidly. Strong. They couldn't afford to offend him. At the same time, lightning flashed behind Su Yu. Lei Ju was rushing over. He didn't want to save them, he just wanted to kill Chui Lang. He didn't want to give him another chance to escape. In the distance, An Mintian looked back and saw the blade light. It was the same blade light that Su Yu used to kill the six-winged celestial race. He frowned slightly. In the next moment, he cursed under his breath and flew back to Huang Teng without looking back. It was too late to go back. Moreover, it was just a matter of interest. They weren't family. What was the point of going back? Huang Tang was right in front of them. Su Yu didn't care about Lei Ju. The little hairy ball launched a surprise attack and left another huge demonic beast behind. Su Yu casually cut the other party into two halves. At this moment, the Kuan Ping growled and shouted, "If you run anymore, all of you will die. Kill him. Lei Ju is coming." The moment these words were said, the other few were also decisive people. They instantly stopped and charged towards Su Yu. A figure appeared below Su Yu and stabbed towards Su Yu with a sword. The Kuan Ping transformed into a wing and slashed over. The other few also attacked. One of them erupted with divine runes, but just as the divine runes appeared, they were gone. The large white marten was stunned. Where were the divine runes? Why were the divine runes gone? It was stunned. At this moment, it was truly stunned. Even though it knew that it was courting death to be in a daze, it still couldn't help but be stunned. Without the offensive divine runes, what would it do? It didn't need to think anymore. At this moment, a large hammer descended. With a rumble, its body was unharmed. Its sea of will was smashed into pieces, and it died. 4. In the blink of an eye, Su Yu had killed 4, and there were only 4 left. As for Su Yu, the fellow beneath his feet had come to assassinate him. Su Yu stomped his foot, and time burst forth. He could destroy mountains and seas, suppress the sun and moon, and be invincible in battle. At this moment, time was absolutely powerful when dealing with these experts from the small clans. With a stomp of his foot, time rotated, and a slow, divine script erupted. The sword was clearly under his feet, but it could not reach Su Yu no matter what. The assassin who had attacked seemed to have been isolated by something as he kept flying upwards. However, he kept a distance from Su Yu, unable to get close. Split open the sky. With a roar and a slash, the opponent's head was directly pierced through by Su Yu. A stream of liquid spewed out and splashed onto Su Yu's body, but Su Yu did not care at all. The viciousness on his face was shocking. Killing intent shook the sky. The Kill Divine script instantly advanced to rank 4. 5. At this moment, the Kuan Ping and the remaining 2 experts no longer had the courage to fight. This wasn't a weapon forging master, this was a killing demon. They couldn't figure out where this Chui Lang's killing intent came from. It was too intense. It was as if he had walked out from a mountain of corpses and a sea of blood. Just based on his killing intent, they dared to conclude that no one present today could compare to this fellow. This fellow's killing intent was too intense. It felt as if he had killed thousands upon thousands of people. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1601. 1601 Chapter 364, Waves to the Earth Roll 3. Killing intent, resentment, anger, and some death chi mixed in. At this moment, Su Yu showed no mercy. He unleashed his full combat strength and slaughtered in all directions. In the blink of an eye, he killed 5 experts. The heaven and earth rewards from before were directly destroyed by him. He did not need that heaven yuan chi. And at this moment, as he killed again, another reward descended. A golden light appeared. Su Yu swept a glance and allowed the golden light to shine on his body. At this moment, all his pores opened up. Golden light tempered his body. Rumble, blood flowed like a huge wave sweeping through. The sound of the waves hitting the void was caused by the powerful chi and blood that shook the void. Tempered body. 14 tempered body. Right before his eyes, this golden light seemed to be specially used to temper one's body. It was not heaven yuan chi. Su Yu did not know what it was, nor did he care. He transformed into a squall and his speed was beyond imagination. In an instant, the squall pierced through a great demon that was escaping. Its body exploded, and the little hairy ball directly entered the other party's sea of consciousness. Creak, 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 it bit the other party's sea of consciousness, causing it to instantly collapse. It was also an ancient race, a powerful ancient race. It was just that it was not on the list. Because the Heaven Hunting Pavilion did not extract its aura, this fellow had always been hiding in Su Yu's sea of consciousness, and it was almost impossible to extract its aura. Otherwise, this fellow would have been on the list by now. After killing this fellow, another cloud appeared. It belonged to Little Hairy Ball. It was not on the list, but that did not prevent it from getting a reward. This time, the reward was actually a clump of willpower. Su Yu did not say anything and swallowed it in one gulp. He transmitted his voice, "Lend it to me. I'll return it to you in the future." "Don't." Little Hairy Ball's voice sounded. It wanted to cry but had no tears. "Mine. That was the reward I killed." It knew that it was its own. This heaven and earth reward couldn't be transferred, but it was very special. It had practically merged with Su Yu and turned into his divine script. At this moment, the reward didn't reject Su Yu and was absorbed by him just like that. The little hairy ball was about to explode from anger. "That was mine." Su Yu didn't care about that. He urgently needed all of this now. He directly transferred all of his willpower into the Thunderword divine script, but it was still a little short. He still hadn't advanced. As for the 8 powerhouses, 6 of them had been killed by him. At this moment, only the Kuan-Ping and a 9th level Lingyun powerhouse were left. At this moment, that fellow had also transformed into his original form and was fleeing. It was a huge eagle. Its flying speed was extremely fast. The Kuan-Ping and the huge eagle both had wings and were fleeing rapidly. No one spoke. At this moment, there was no time to talk. There was only killing. They had encountered a ruthless opponent. If they could escape, they could escape. If they could not escape, they would die. It was that simple. Behind them, the lightning was less than 1,000 meters away from Su Yu. In the blink of an eye, the other party could catch up to Su Yu. The Kuan-Ping and the condor were ecstatic. They were too close. If Cui Lang killed them, he would definitely slow down. If he slowed down, Lei Ju would be able to reach them in an instant. At that time, Lei Ju would definitely not be comparable to the condor. Lei Ju, who was at the 9th level of Lingyun realm, was much stronger than the ordinary mountains and seas. Su Yu was also gnashing his teeth. "Bastard! Do you really think I'm afraid of you?" There were too many things that had been exposed. He couldn't let the Kuan-Ping and the condor live. Although he didn't know if they had seen it or not, Su Yu had exposed a lot of divine writing techniques and Little Furball. Perhaps these 2 guys would have seen it, but he didn't say anything. They would be exposed sooner or later. At this moment, Su Yu no longer had any hesitation. He roared once again. Split open the sky. All of his apertures exploded with power. The split open sky blade, the strongest blade, came from all directions. The blade aura of the great Xia kings quickly followed. At the same time, the big hammer smashed towards the Kuan-Ping, and Little Hairy Ball also instantly attacked the sea of consciousness of the big eagle. The Kuan-Ping and the big condor's sea of consciousness slightly shook. Instantly, the sky-splitting blade fell. Boom! A blade light shot out hundreds of meters. Around the canyon, the blade energy was sucked out, the mountain rocks were shattered, and the earth cracked. At this moment, in the sky-breaking valley, all the living beings looked in this direction. Many people were extremely stunned. Who was Huang Ting? The power of this blade was not weaker than Huang Ting's previous blade. One on the left and one on the right. Who was Huang Ting? Those who didn't arrive at the scene couldn't tell at all. And at this moment, the huge Kuan-Pang and the huge condor were like broken glass. With a creak, they shattered into pieces. Boom! The heaven and earth reward descended once again. This time, it was a piece of heaven and earth divine script. It killed many powerhouses consecutively, including a 9th level Ling Yun. This time, the heaven and earth reward was exceptionally rich. The divine prose entered Su Yu's sea of consciousness instantly. Just as it entered, with a bang, it was shattered by the golden atlas again. This time, Su Yu saw what it was. He almost cursed. Empty. The space was empty, but it wasn't from the human race. It was the divine prose of the celestial race. F***CK. I want this thing. Even if it's from the celestial race, it's still a piece of heaven and earth divine prose. F***CK, you've shattered it. It hurts. There was no time to think about it. After killing 2 great demons with a single slash, Su Yu had also expended a lot of energy. He could not continue any longer. From behind, a bolt of lightning instantly rushed over. Lei Ju had arrived. Lei Ju was also very shocked. However, this did not stop him from killing Su Yu. He knew that at this moment, this fellow in front of him had expended a lot of energy. It was also a good opportunity to kill him. This fellow was not weaker than Huang Teng. At this moment, he didn't have the time to look at the list. But he knew that this fellow might have become the number 1 on the profound list, or he might have directly entered the Earth list. He had killed so many powerhouses, including a 9th level Ling Yun. Crossing 8 minor ranks to kill a genius was simply terrifying. Killing this fellow would definitely give him a terrifying amount of rewards. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1602. 1602 Chapter 364, Waves to the Earth Roll 4. His lightning burst forth, and Su Yu's back was instantly struck by lightning. The Tier 3 lightning word divine text did not even have the time to devour the remnant of the heaven and earth divine text. It burst forth with the power of lightning in an instant, resisting for a moment, but was defeated in the blink of an eye. Su Yu did not delay. He spat out a mouthful of blood, and the fire burned, burning the blood dry. He quickly fled. As he fled, time revolved beneath his feet, and the slow divine script delayed him. His face was also filled with viciousness. Wait. Wait until I devour the remnant of the heaven and earth divine script, and the divine script advances, then we'll fight again. You want to run? Lei Ju was also viciousness. He couldn't let him escape. Once this fellow ran away, it would be difficult to chase after him. Under the state of complete victory, he didn't dare to guarantee that he would be able to take down the other party. Just based on the state of the other party killing those fellows in an instant, he really didn't dare to guarantee that he would be able to win. 8 experts. Being killed just like that, even Lei Ju was shocked. 1 man and 1 god, 1 in front and 1 behind, swiftly engaged in a fierce chase in midair. Lightning flickered, and blade rays streaked across the sky. Kill. The battle continued without end. Su Yu's defense was continuously broken, and his body was scorched dry by those lightning strikes. However, it was not as if Su Yu did not counterattack. His large hammer continuously bombarded, and the quake divine script vibrated. Below, some of the searching experts were evading and quickly escaping. The battle on this side wasn't any weaker than Huang Ting's side. They didn't dare to get involved in the battle between the 2 experts. They didn't even dare to launch a sneak attack. On the other side of the canyon, Huang Teng and the others were also stunned. The one fighting Lei Ju over there was Cui Lang. Are you kidding me? So powerful? Wasn't he only at first level Ling Yun realm? Also, what the hell was that heaven-cleaving blade? Cui Lang knew heaven-cleaving blade. They were at a loss. At this moment, Huang Ting grabbed Wu Qi and escaped quickly. Wu Qi's face was also pale and she kept coughing up blood. Green smoke rose from her blood and poisonous smoke filled the air. Huang Ting couldn't help but tease, the most ruthless woman in the human race. Did you refine yourself into a poisonous person? Wu Qi ignored him. Was she ruthless? She didn't think so. She ignored him, but Huang Ting couldn't help but say again, damn, old Wu, what are you going to do with me? You can't even kiss me, can you King poison me to death? Shut up. Wu Qi shouted angrily, and a mouthful of blood gushed out and sprayed onto his clothes. The next moment, his clothes were gone, and a hole was instantly corroded by the blood on Huang Ting's body. It was so painful that he shouted, I was wrong. I'll shut up. Sister Wu, don't spew me. Wu Qi was so angry that he wanted to explode. He really wanted to spew him again and poison this bastard to death. And at that moment, behind him, Tian Duo and the other demon experts were also entangled by the blood mist. Tianduo's lifeblood exploded as his Yuan Qi exploded. He looked at them coldly and was somewhat angry. He did not expect that Wu Qi, the guy on the yellow roll, was actually so difficult to deal with. Yes, Wu Qi. Everyone knew that Huang Ting was powerful. What about Wu Qi? He only knew that she was ruthless enough. He did not expect that this woman was so ruthless that she even refined his blood into poisonous blood. It was very poisonous. He was surprised that Wu Qi was not poisoned to death by him. When this woman refined it back then, she actually did not poison him to death, it was too unbelievable. This thing was tainted by the Lingyan realm and instantly corroded his flesh and blood. Even if he was not poisoned to death, Wu Qi must have suffered a great deal back then. Huang Ting did not have time to think about this. On the other side, he sensed Minqian's aura and cursed in a low voice, he shouted, don't stare at me. Stare at the one in front. That is the real heir of the Xia family, the son of Mansion Master Xia. F***ck, why are you killing me? The surroundings fell silent. It was really quiet for a moment. Xia Huyo. At this moment, a living being shouted in shock. Xia Longwu's son had also received some news recently. Xia Huyo, the direct descendant of the Xia family. Was that Xia Huyo? Huang Ting scolded, Xia Huyo my ass. That's Xia Lang, the eldest son of Mansion Master Xia. No one knows. Stop chasing me. That's the true heir of the Xia family. I'm just a puppet. He didn't look like he was lying. At this moment, even Wu Qi was stunned. Xia Lang. Xia Longwu's eldest son. There was this guy in the Xia family. He had no idea at all. Cui Lang was a hidden illegitimate child. At this moment, Minqian's expression changed slightly. Was it true? Xia Lang. The direct descendant of the Xia family, the son of the Bloody Massacre King. The great-grandson of the great Xia King. The fourth-generation leader of the Xia family. And Xia Huyo, as well as Huang Ting, were just targets on the surface. If that was the case, then the other party's heaven-cleaving blade was powerful. There was an explanation. Was this for real? As for Huang Ting, he shouted once more, F***ck, it's true. At this point, why would I lie to you? Minqian, did you kill me purely for the reward? Wasn't it for the sake of breaking the Xia family's inheritance? Who am I? Xia Lang is 1,000 times more important than me. Bastard. At this moment, Wu Qi suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood onto his hand. The hissing sound rang out once again. Huang Ting let out a painful groan. Wu Qi instantly fell from his hand and gritted his teeth as he looked at Huang Ting. He instantly disappeared beside Huang Ting. Huang Ting, go and beg for your own survival. After saying that, Wu Qi let out a loud shout. Her willpower erupted as she turned around and charged towards Tian Duo and the rest. Huang Ting cursed in his heart. Women were really unreasonable. Wasn't this begging for survival? That fellow looked like he wouldn't die in a short period of time. Even if an Mintian really wanted to chase after him, he might not be able to catch up to him. This woman, did she really believe that it was Xia Lang? Was it that easy to be fooled? Seeing that she was going to kill her way back, Huang Ting really wanted to scold her. In the future, even if he was beaten to death, he wouldn't move with a woman. She was too unreliable, scamming his teammates. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1603 1603 Chapter 364, Wave to the Earth Roll Chio Subscribe, 5. Gritting his teeth, Huang Ting also turned around. A blade appeared in his hand. In the next moment, 144 acupoints were lit up, and his body glowed with a golden color. The surrounding blade aura instantly gathered over, and his acupoints began to explode. It was too powerful. This blade was like the cleaving of heaven and earth. Behind him, Tian Duo's expression changed, and he shouted, "Retreat!" With a loud bang, the blade slashed down. With a bang, a demon expert beside Tian Duo didn't have the time to dodge and was chopped into pieces. The blade light swept out and created a path. In that instant, Huang Ting grabbed Wuxia once again and ran out of the path. In the blink of an eye, he left Tian Duo and the others behind. Tian Duo and the other experts were currently entangled by the blade energy and watched as he left. Very quickly, Tian Duo broke free from the blade energy and shattered it. With a furious roar, he brought the remaining people and chased after him. Huang Ting's body in front of him continued to dim. Soon, blood dripped from the corner of his mouth. He grabbed Wuxia, who was still struggling, and said with a chuckle, "Woman, ha, idiot, damn it, take me away, I'm going to die." Wuxia turned around and saw that his acupoints were constantly exploding. His expression changed slightly, and it was a little sad. Soon, it turned into determination. He spat out a mouthful of blood. Huang Ting was about to dodge, but she grabbed his arm, and the blood sprayed onto his arm. At this moment, the blood was no longer poisonous blood. Instead, it turned into essence blood to help him repair his acupoints. "You! Shut up!" Wuxia spat out a few more mouthfuls of blood. Her face was frighteningly pale as she said coldly, "Run." Huang Ting was helpless. He gritted his teeth and said, "F***ck, too many people have come. That bastard Qin Fong wants to kill me. I've already contacted him, but he didn't come. F***ck, otherwise, this wouldn't be the result." "Humph." Wuxia snorted. "You actually trusted others? You're stupid. In this heavenly battlefield, only I can be trusted. Expect others to save me? What a joke. If they come again, we'll fight to the death. Even if we're dying, we have to kill a few." Wuxia coldly looked behind her and looked at the demons. At this moment, Mo Erba, Lan Ning, and Tian Duo weren't dead, but a few other demon experts had died. Before dying, she had to kill a few of them. She wasn't afraid of death. She came to the Sea of Desire Plains to survive. Since she couldn't survive, then she wasn't afraid of death. Cui Lang. "I'm just saying." Huang Ting interrupted, "It's fake. Don't ask me, how would I know? Don't tell me, if you tell me, I'll believe it myself. Could it really be the illegitimate child of the Xia family? Xia Longwu couldn't possibly be Lord Xia Ho's. Terrifying. Could he be Mansion Master Xia's cousin? Truly terrifying." Having cultivated the heaven-splitting blade to this stage, he didn't feel like Su Yu. Su Yu knew that he had killed people before, but if one were to say that the killing intent was so dense, he could feel the killing intent and death intent within the blade aura even from tens of li away, he felt that it didn't seem like it. Could a civilized master be so bloodthirsty? If he said that he was a member of the Xia family, I would still believe him a little. At this moment, Su Yu and Huang Ting once again turned their backs and fled. One escaped Lei Ju's pursuit, while the other escaped Tendo's pursuit. At the same time, 100 li away from the heaven-breaking valley, a great battle between experts was also taking place. An armored youth with black armor on his body and a long spear in his hand rode on a flying tiger. His gaze was cold and fierce. With a rumble of a spear, he stabbed an expert to death. In the next moment, the young man looked back. Mo duo na, if you want to kill me, show me your true abilities. After saying this, the flying tiger soared into the air and instantly fled. Behind him, a purple-haired demon youth with obvious flames on his forehead smiled and looked at him. He said indifferently, Qin Fang, I was thinking, if I kill you, will the great Qin king make a move? Qin Fang ignored him and continued to flee. Kill me first. As for Huang Ting, I'm sorry, just wait for your death. I have no other choice. That Modwa tried to kill me, so I'm lucky if I can escape. This guy's number 1 on the heaven roll isn't a joke. I can't beat him. A great battle broke out. On the Sea of Desire plains, experts continued to fight, and names kept disappearing from the heaven hunting roll. Chui Lang of the Daming Mansion was the most suspicious one. He was ranked 36th on the Earth roll. Ling Yun had killed 9 levels of Ling Yun at the first level of the Earth roll. His ranking had skyrocketed. He had entered the Earth roll directly from the Xian roll. Moreover, he wasn't at the bottom of the list. Instead, he was at the middle tier. If he killed Shanghai, he might be able to enter the top 10 of the Earth roll very soon. It was because of his age. A 35-year-old human was equivalent to a 315-year-old god. He was indeed a little old. These gods and demons of Madonna were all less than 200 years old at the moment. In fact, they were equivalent to 20-year-old humans. That was why their rankings were so high. If Chui Lang was 10 years younger, he would be in the top 5 or even the top 3 on the Earth roll. Unfortunately, he was really a little old. Outsiders said that he was old. Su Yu had no idea. He was not the old man Chui Lang. At this moment, he was constantly escaping. Huang Ting said that he was Xia Lang, but he did not hear it. He only knew that Huang Ting was probably going to be finished. Forget it, take care of yourself. He could not care less. After dozens of strikes, Lei Ju finally stopped for a moment. Su Yu instantly fell to the ground and escaped. He disappeared in a flash. The moment he escaped, he also sensed the floating earth spirit not far away. He did not have time to pay attention to him and directly ran away. The floating earth spirit was stunned for a moment. F***CK. I thought he was from the same clan as me. Is this Chui Lang? What's going on? The earth escape art is not slower than mine. Lei Ju didn't have time to think and hurriedly ran in the opposite direction. Lei Ju was clear-headed now. If he didn't run now, Lei Ju would vent his anger on him. However, he was shocked. What's going on? Is the earth escape art of the human clan so powerful? It seemed that the 5 elements race didn't have any advantage. In the air, Lei Ju's expression changed slightly. Gritting his teeth, he said coldly, Chui Lang. This Chui Lang was really too powerful. There were too many divine runes. The feeling he gave off didn't seem like the Chui Lang he knew. Thunder, kill, fight, fire, slow. He said many divine runes in a row. His expression changed. Other than the divine runes department, how could the human race have so many divine runes? This Chui Lang. There was something wrong with him. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1604 1604 Chapter 365 Divine Inscriptions Advancement, Power of the Mountains and Seas 1. Lei Ju was not the only one who felt that there was a problem with Cui Lang. He knew how to use the heaven-splitting blade, and his battle prowess was formidable, and his killing intent was full of killing intent. To be honest, no one thought that he was a weapon-forging master or someone from Daming Manor. Huang Ting said that he was from the Xia family, and this still had some credibility. Heaven-splitting blade, God-expanding art, and many divine inscriptions. In fact, at this point, only some people didn't know much about Su Yu. Otherwise, they would have some suspicions. In the heavenly battlefield, Su Yu and Cui Lang were both newcomers. He wasn't Huang Ting and the others, so he wasn't a wily old fox. The 10,000 clans knew too little about him. As the information kept coming together, Su Yu himself knew that he couldn't hide for too long. Sooner or later, Su Yu's identity would be exposed. Underground. Under the Heaven Break Valley, saber qi was also rampant. Moreover, there were some living creatures underground. For example, the floating earth spirits liked to stay underground. However, it was slightly better than above ground. At this moment, Su Yu was hiding underground. In the Sea of Will, the heaven and earth reward divine text was shattered. The reward for Little Hairy Ball was also snatched away by Su Yu. At this moment, in the Sea of Will, the lightning divine text was continuously being absorbed. Lei Ju was still looking for him. Su Yu could only cultivate for a moment before choosing to leave quickly. That fellow was really annoying. The lightning divine text could be considered an offensive divine text. It consumed a lot of resources to advance. Before the divine text advanced, Su Yu's body trembled. His physical body, which was just about to advance, had completed its advancement. 14 casts. The 14th level was completed. Actually, the speed was very fast. At the end of February, Su Yu had just completed the advancement of his physical body. It was only the beginning of July now. In less than 5 months, his physical body had completed the 14th level. However, to Su Yu, it was still a little slow. Previously, his physical body was very strong, stronger than the feeling of willpower. When Su Yu fought with others, his physical body was always superior to others. But now, the gap was not small. Due to his sufficient willpower and divine runes, other than his willpower not reaching the 9th level of Lingyun, it was not difficult for Su Yu to advance to the 9th level of Lingyun. He might be able to achieve it very soon. However, the difficulty of casting his physical body had increased. On the day he advanced to the sky, he had completed 3 casts. In other words, in over 100 days, Su Yu had only completed 11 casts. On average, even if he had heaven origin qi, it was close to half a month for him to complete 1 cast. This speed was really fast. Some people only managed to cultivate to 9 casts. Based on Su Yu's speed, it would probably take him 3 to 4 months to complete the cultivation of the soaring stage. However, that was not what Su Yu was after. He still had to complete 72 casts. After completing 14 casts, Su Yu's physical strength was already close to 7,000 apertures. Adding on the fact that his young apertures could be half opened and the enhancement of the strength word, under full power, Su Yu's physical strength could exceed 7,000 apertures, or even close to 8,000 apertures. Many Lingyun could not achieve such strength. Some weak mountains and seas only had the strength of 10,000 apertures. However, Su Yu was not facing a weak race, but gods and devils, including primitive gods and devils. To those people, Lingyun was useless if he did not have the strength of 10,000 apertures. A top-notch primitive god and devil could reach the strength of 10,000 apertures at the peak of soaring. 14 cast. Still weak. Su Yu shook his head slightly. It was extremely difficult to rely on his physical body to defeat Lei Ju. He still had to rely on his divine writing and willpower. In addition, he didn't have any advantage in terms of speed. That fellow had transformed into lightning and was also very fast. After fighting with Lei Ju for a while, he was almost suppressed by Lei Ju. It was very frustrating. I can't even kill a single Lei Ju. Su Yu sighed in his heart. As for Lei Ju killing mountains and seas, that had nothing to do with him. The thunder rumbled again. That bastard had started using the Thunder God clan's probing technique to look for him again. Troublesome. If he didn't get rid of this guy, it would be difficult for him to hide in Heaven Break Valley. Su Yu continued to flee and continued to wait for the Thunder Word Divine Prose to advance. After advancing, the Tier 4 Thunder Word Divine Prose would at least be able to weaken the opponent's thunder attack by 70%. At that time, the difficulty of the lightning strike would be greatly reduced. At this time, Su Yu didn't know that he wasn't the only one fleeing. Many people were fleeing. Huang Teng, Wuxia, Qin Fang, and some other geniuses were also fleeing, including Lu Hong, who had just entered the Sea of Desire Plain. He was also fleeing with a depressed expression. The moment he entered, the Sea of Desire Plain had stirred up a wave of killing human geniuses. In the past, the Sea of Desire Plain, which could survive even if it was a Sky Realm cultivator, now had a large number of Heaven Hunting List geniuses appearing. This was something that was rarely seen in the past. There were only so many people on the Heaven Hunting List. The heavenly battlefield was very big, so it was impossible for everyone to head to the Sea of Desire Plains. Normally, it would be considered a lot if there were 20 to 30 people gathered. At this moment, there were more than 100 Heaven Hunting List geniuses on the Sea of Desire Plains. A group effect. Because of Huang Teng, Qin Fang, Su Yu, and Tian Duo, a large number of geniuses gathered here. Some wanted to watch the show, some wanted to join in the fun, and some wanted to fish in troubled waters. The probability of obtaining heaven and earth rewards by killing geniuses here increased greatly. Bang! As he fled, Su Yu felt that he was very unlucky. Halfway through, he actually encountered a big problem while escaping underground. A rockman. After encountering Su Yu, without a word of disagreement, no, without saying anything, that fellow blasted the earth with a punch, shaking Su Yu out of his earth escape state. Earth escape art. I hate earth escape art the most. This stone golem was precisely the fellow that the floating earth spirit had almost met earlier. He hated earth escape art, and when he sensed Su Yu's existence, he immediately used earth escape art. He didn't hold back and blasted the ground with a punch, forcing Su Yu out. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1605. 1605 Chapter 365 Divine Text Advancement, Power of the Mountains and Seas 2. Su Yu also met some fellows along the way. Some did not notice him, and some even avoided him. Only this fellow actually took the initiative to attack him. Su Yu was also furious. With the blessing of the strength divine text, his physical body quickly collided with the other party. It was not that he did not want to use the divine text and willpower, but in the end, he discovered that this stone golem seemed to be somewhat special. His sea of will seemed to have solidified. He gave it a few hammers, but it actually did not shake his sea of will. Rumble. Under the collision of fists and kicks, Su Yu was somewhat defeated. Even though his young aperture was half opened, under the blessing of the divine script of strength, he was continuously pushed back by the other party. This stone man gave Su Yu the feeling that he was only at the 7th level of Lingyun. However, the strength of his physical body might have exceeded 10,000 apertures. After a series of punches and kicks, Su Yu's entire body was in intense pain. He couldn't help but curse inwardly. Behind him, Lei Ju was about to arrive again. Just as he was about to use the multi-divine literature battle technique to stab this fellow, this rockman also noticed Lei Ju approaching. He suddenly threw Su Yu aside and rose into the air. He shouted angrily, "Lei Ju, I've finally found you." As he finished speaking, he tore through the air and punched towards Lei Ju. Lei Ju's expression also changed slightly. "Shizun, it's you. You're dead meat." The rockman was only at the 7th level of Ling Yun, but he was unafraid of Lei Ju, who was at the 9th level of Ling Yun. There was something special about the rockman. The power of lightning was harmful to him, but it naturally had a portion of resistance. Therefore, he was able to counter Lei Ju when the difference in strength wasn't too big. Without saying anything else, the rockman charged towards Lei Ju. Rumble. In the air, the power of lightning and the power of giant rocks collided. The two experts instantly started fighting in the air. These two had a grudge against each other before. Below, Su Yu was stunned. What was this? He was just about to join hands with the rockman and kill Lei Ju together. Just as he was about to make a move, an earthen head suddenly popped out from the side and transmitted his voice, "This human Tao brother, why aren't you running?" Su Yu looked at the floating earth spirit and was a little speechless. Why did this fellow follow him? Don't even think about joining hands with the lump of rock. The floating earth spirit seemed to know what he was thinking and said helplessly, "This lump of rock doesn't have a good brain. It doesn't like anyone. It fights whoever it sees. If you go up, it will think that you're interfering and will immediately come to beat you up." Su Yu was speechless. There was such a person. No, there was such a stone. Forget it. This lump of stone was indeed quite strong. Although he wasn't a civilized master, he felt that it was somewhat restraining against civilized masters. His sea of will was stable, and civilized masters would find it difficult to shake him. His physical body wasn't as strong as his, so Su Yu probably wouldn't be able to beat him. He was a little depressed. After encountering a group of unmatched experts, his strength wasn't too strong. There wasn't even a single mountain and sea expert. This made Su Yu extremely depressed. The floating earth spirit reminded him and quickly said, "Fellow Taoist, do you know the earth evasion technique?" This was what the floating earth spirit was interested in. He discovered that the other party's earth evasion technique was really fast. It was so fast that it was somewhat terrifying. It was almost catching up to him. Su Yu said indifferently, "I do." "Fellow Taoist, do you have any advice?" "No, no, no." The floating earth spirit laughed. "Fellow Taoist, this is not a good place to chat. When the lump of rock fights, it will only go crazy for a while. Very soon, it will run out of yuan qi and retreat. Let's talk somewhere else." Su Yu was slightly taken aback. "Yo, according to what you said, this lump of rock was not stupid. It even knew that it was running out of vitality and wanted to retreat." He turned his head to look at the sky. Lei Ju did not explain anything to the lump of rock. He just continued to fight. He knew that it did not make sense to Shizun. If they did not fight, Shizun would not let him off. Under the situation where Shizun restrained him, he could only fight evenly with Shizun. Vaguely, he was at a slight disadvantage. Of course, in terms of endurance, Shizun was not as good as him. Su Yu took a look and quickly left with the earth escape art and the floating earth spirit. As he used the earth escape art, he said telepathically, "Does the earth spirit have something to say?" "Nothing, I just want to ask you, your earth escape art, why is it very similar to the 5 elements escape art? Have you studied the 5 elements escape art?" Su Yu didn't deny it and said directly, "Yes, the escape art is the 5 elements escape art I learned. I spent many years sketching out many divine inscriptions, and among them, there is an earth divine inscription. Fellow Taoist, don't tell me you want to snatch my divine inscription. Don't misunderstand. The floating earth spirit explained and quickly said, "Fellow Taoist, do you know the water escape art?" Suyu replied, "Yes, why?" The floating earth spirit suddenly stopped. A pair of eyes could be vaguely seen under the ground as it looked at Suyu. "Fellow Taoist, do you know the water escape art?" "I know it." Suyu asked curiously, "What's so strange about it?" "I know the 5 elements escape art." After saying this, he didn't transform into water. Instead, he condensed a puddle of water and pierced through the water. This was a normal water escape art. As for the water escape art, it was an innate skill and was different from a normal escape art. The floating earth spirit was somewhat puzzled. Normal water escape arts weren't rare. He was only slightly puzzled as to whether the water spirit he had encountered before had anything to do with this fellow in front of him. After hearing that he knew water escape arts, the floating earth spirit still had some thoughts. But after seeing it with his own eyes, he felt that he was thinking too much. How could a human possibly pretend to be a water spirit? Suyu said, "If fellow Taoist 2 doesn't have anything else to do, then we'd better split up. Lei Ju will continue to pursue me. Even gods and demons are like this. Fellow Taoist of the 5 elements race, you don't want to be implicated, right?" The floating earth spirit was only with him to judge the situation. It had no interest in helping Suyu. At this moment, it didn't say much. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1606. 1606 Chapter 365 Divine Prose Promotion, Power of Mountains and Seas 3. Just as Suyu was about to leave, he suddenly said, "Fellow Taoist, you're about to enter the top 10 of the Earth Roll. Congratulations." Earth Roll. Suyu still didn't know about this. The floating earth spirit said in surprise, "Fellow Taoist, you don't have a heaven hunting roll." "You do." Suyu also said bluntly, "I'm worried that that thing has a positioning effect. Aren't you afraid of being hunted by the heaven hunting pavilion with this?" The floating earth spirit was extremely surprised. "I'm not afraid. I'm just waiting for the heaven hunting pavilion to come and hunt them down." Suyu was stunned for a moment. He felt as if he had thought of something wrong. The floating earth spirit was also very surprised. "This is the Desire Sea Plains. The chances of the strong encountering us are very small. Even if they can locate us, it's easy for the weak to find us. However, when the weak come, they will also give us benefits. The sub-ranking can also understand the current changes. Why don't you bring it with you? At worst, we can abandon them outside the Sea of Desire Plains or bring them back to our own headquarters. Could it be that the heaven hunting pavilion can still kill their way to their headquarters?" He felt a little strange. Didn't we come to the Sea of Desire Plains to kill? It would be good if the heaven hunting pavilion came. What was there to worry about? He was still afraid of being located by others. If he was located, then he would be located. In this godforsaken place, even if an expert knew where you were, they might not be able to rush over. There was nothing to worry about. Suyu let out a breath. He had thought wrongly. He didn't expect that all the geniuses in this place would have such thoughts. He had already located himself. "You come, I'll kill." What kind of confidence was this? At this moment, Suyu had a vague feeling of realization. This was the heavenly battlefield. This was a hunting operation. This was a graveyard for hunting geniuses. Everyone knew what they were doing. They were all doing it to strengthen themselves. Therefore, they were not afraid of danger. Everyone was. Including the floating earth spirit in front of him. From his surprised tone, it was not difficult to know that he was afraid of being targeted by others, and that he was a deviant instead. "Why didn't fellow Taoist 2 make a move on me?" Suyu asked, and the floating earth spirit replied, "Fellow Taoist, you are very strong, and I am not confident. The Five Elements race is also a civilized master, so they do not have much restraint on you. I prefer to hunt warriors. Are you satisfied with this answer? It did not say that it did not want to kill you. It just felt that killing you was very difficult, not worth it, and there was also danger. They were all sensible people, so there was no need to be too hypocritical. Understood, I have learned. Su Yu threw down these words and quickly left. The floating earth spirit's words made him feel quite a lot. This was a group of geniuses who knew what they were thinking, what they were fighting for, and what they were scheming for. Everyone had their own goals. No one was here to fool around, so they would not come here to fool around. Su Yu was worried about being targeted, but these guys were eager to bring one along. When the Heaven Hunting Pavilion's experts came, they would kill if they could beat them, and run if they couldn't. Killing and running were the mainstream of the Sea of Desire plains. If the Heaven Hunting Pavilion was killing them, weren't they also hunting the Heaven Hunting Pavilion's experts? Sub-ranking. This thing is like a fish. It's used for fishing. It depends on who's stronger, the angler or the big fish. It was normal for the angler to be swallowed by the fish, and it was normal for the fish to be killed by the angler. Su Yu did not think too much about it. He escaped once again and took advantage of the fight between Lei Ju and Shirzun to find a place to hide. As for Lei Ju, he would encounter some enemies sooner or later and it would not be so easy for him to find him. Such an unbridled probing, Lei Ju almost forced all the invisible guys out. If this continued, it would be normal for him to be surrounded and killed. His probing technique was not aimed at Su Yu. It was aimed at all the hidden people. If he offended too many people, he would be killed sooner or later. Heaven Break Valley was not too long. Its total length was only 1 to 200 miles, and its span was not too big. It was only 1 to 2 miles. For experts, they could kill their way from the south to the north in less than an hour. However, due to the influence of the Saber Chi and the Holy Power, the range of everyone's probing was much smaller. In addition to the effect of some cracks, the slaughter in this small Heaven Break Valley could only be sensed by others. This also gave people a chance to escape. With all kinds of cracks, if they took a detour, they could still avoid the enemy's pursuit. At this moment, Su Yu was hiding in a small crack, continuing to absorb willpower. If Lei Ju wanted to investigate, he would have to investigate inch by inch. Finding someone was more difficult than hiding from someone. Lei Ju. After muttering once again, in Su Yu's sea of willpower, the thunder word divine script began to churn. There were signs of advancement. It was finally about to be completed. Su Yu heaved a sigh of relief in his heart. After absorbing so much willpower in the remnant of the heaven and earth divine inscription, if he didn't advance, he would collapse. There weren't that many people to kill. He had just gotten rid of Minchin's helpers. Now that many people knew about his situation, it would be difficult for him to launch a sneak attack like this. After waiting for another half an hour, there was a rumbling sound. Lightning flashed in his mind, and the rumbling continued. This second outline of the divine text came from the divine text in the Thunder Origin Saber. It had finally advanced to rank 4. Mountain Sea Divine Text. Su Yu had outlined quite a number of rank 4 divine texts. His willpower at the Lingyan realm was also somewhat unbearable. His willpower was still a little weak and was not strong enough. There were too many divine texts and his willpower was not strong enough. If this continued, it would instead break through his sea of willpower. Of course, the current Su Yu did not have such worries. He did not hesitate either. In the next moment, a medicinal pill was swallowed by him. Soul-refining pill, the thing that heaven and earth had previously rewarded. It was used to expand his sea of willpower. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1607. 1607 Chapter 365 Divine Text Advancement, Power of Mountains and Seas 4. Suyu didn't know how effective it was. He would talk about it after he used it. As soon as the medicinal pill entered his mouth, it quickly turned into a stream of energy that surged into his sea of consciousness. In the blink of an eye, that stream of energy spread out in all directions like a shockwave. Suyu sensed for a moment and roughly understood the effects of this medicinal pill. This stream of energy had the power of a shockwave and was considered gentle. It was actually similar to the effect of the soul-expanding technique. However, the God-expanding technique was a little more violent. Forcefully expanding one's sea of consciousness and hammering it. The sea of consciousness was weak and could easily hammer one to death. As for the effects of the soul-refining pill, it was a little gentler. However, when it was expanded, it wasn't as intuitive as the God-expanding hammer. Suyu sensed for a moment and shook his head slightly. It did have an expanding effect, but it was frighteningly weak. To some weaklings, it might be able to expand quite a bit, but to Suyu and himself, his sea of consciousness was already vast. Whether it was the Golden Atlas, the divine literature battle techniques, or the God-expanding hammer, they all had the effect of strengthening and expanding. Therefore, this medicinal pill was of little value to Suyu. I have quite a few good things. To others, these things are also good things, but not to me. What I lack the most are actually divine literature and willpower. Perhaps I shouldn't waste them. Instead, I should find someone to exchange for them. Were there any willpower treasures? Or treasures like the heavenly river sand? There should be some. The heaven and earth rewards might also give pills that could increase willpower. However, to the contestants, the demand wasn't big. In fact, they could find an opportunity to ask someone to see where they could trade. They couldn't waste these good things. This time, he had killed quite a number of experts and obtained quite a number of storage rings. He didn't have the time to count the spoils of war. As Suyu thought of this, the effects of the pill disappeared in his mind. The Divine Lightning script had also officially entered Tier 4. At this moment it was flickering with lightning and seemed to be ready to move. Suyu let out a breath. Tier 4 Divine Lightning script. Lei Ju, I've finally completed it. Of course, he was no longer in a hurry. He was not in a hurry to look for Lei Ju. After completing the advancement of the divine script, it would be even better if his body could be forged a few more times. I'll wait for Lei Ju to deliver himself to my doorstep. It would be best if during this period of time, some other fellow came to his doorstep and was killed by him. He would then receive some rewards. The golden light from before was not bad. With the light shining on his body, it was actually able to rapidly temper his bones and body. He felt that it was even more useful than the Heaven Yuan Qi. In addition, he might be able to take a look at the ranking board. Now that the ranking board was constantly changing, the ranking board given to him by Hall Master Lu might not be accurate anymore. The news from Daming Manor had always been one step behind, so the information given to him previously might not be accurate. Suyu began to wait. As he waited, he used the Heaven Yuan Qi to cast his body at all costs. Even if a lot of the Heaven Yuan Qi was wasted, Suyu did not care. He allowed the Heaven Yuan Qi to completely envelop him instead of absorbing it bit by bit. His entire body was wrapped in the Heaven Yuan Qi. He absorbed it without any blind spots. He still had quite a bit of Heaven Yuan Qi on hand. He gave some to his father and some to Lu Wenyan and Lu family's first uncle. Until now, he still had around 500 portions of Heaven Yuan Qi on hand. 500 portions of Heaven Yuan Qi, 500,000 merit points, and countless spoils of war, this was Suyu's entire fortune. My body has been cast at 14 points. I might be able to consume a drop of mountain and sea essence blood. 14 points was not weak. Suyu felt that he might not explode from consuming the mountain and sea essence blood. It was just a drop of essence blood, not all of the power of the mountain and sea. If that was the case, it would be easier and easier to kill Lei Ju if he used the power of the mountain and sea at the last minute. He still had the blood essence of the mountain and sea realm. When he left Daming Manor, Zhu Tiandao had prepared some for him. He just didn't know which race's mountain and sea blood essence was good for him. He couldn't be too strong. He couldn't use the power of the gods and devils. Otherwise, if he used the power of the gods and devils, even if he could open the scroll, once he used the power of the gods and devils, it would be easy for his body to explode. The power of the demonic mountain and sea is not good. Even the top 100 races are a little dangerous. It should be possible for him to be below the top 100. It would be best if he had a strong body with a strong explosive strength. Suyu thought for a moment before taking out a drop of blood essence. After hesitating for a moment, he gritted his teeth and swallowed the drop of blood essence. Boom! Yuan Qi exploded as the power of the blood essence spread. Suyu's body trembled as his lifeblood boiled. Cracks appeared on his body. Soon, the destructive power dissipated. Suyu quickly circulated the primordial divine art. In the next moment, a divine power gathered around him, helping him repair his body. The great Xia King's saber qi followed like a shadow, slashing at Suyu. Suyu did not care about this. After being slashed for a while, he quickly switched to the heaven-cleaving saber, and the saber qi automatically dispersed. At this moment, he didn't have time to care about these things. This was the first drop of mountain and sea blood essence he had consumed. He wanted to see if there would be any other changes. At this moment, a page of the Golden Book was opened. Bear Demon level of mountain and sea. Race skills, Earth-splitting strike, blood essence activation, blood-splitting frenzy, blood essence activation. Basic origin technique, heaven-splitting technique. Basic body forging technique, 18 heaven-splitting techniques. Basic 9 changes technique, heaven-splitting 9 changes. Basic round aperture technique, heaven-splitting round aperture technique. There was one more line. Basic round aperture technique. Suyu was deep in thought. This should be a Shanhai realm cultivation technique, but it was actually the same as the combined aperture technique. Of course, the combined aperture technique mainly targeted the Wancha realm, so it wasn't very effective against the Shanhai realm. Round aperture technique, it's probably the advanced version of the combined aperture technique. My 36 aperture combined aperture technique might not be inferior to these races' round aperture techniques. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1608. 1608 Chapter 365 Divine Text Advancement, Power of the Mountains and Seas 5. Suyu made a judgment in his heart. These basic circular aperture techniques were most likely modified from the other party's race cultivation techniques. They would have some effect on the mountains and seas, but their effects would definitely be limited. He wasn't looking forward to it too much. Of course, it would probably help him advance in the future, but he still had to rely on his own combination to improve it. Bear Demon Beast. This was a race with strong physical combat strength. It was ranked around 300th among the 10,000 races, which wasn't too low. Suyu gently exhaled. Fortunately, he could absorb it. There wasn't much of a problem. He just didn't know if his physical body would be able to hold on when he erupted with the power of mountains and seas. A 14-caste physical body might still be a little lacking. It might be a little better when it was above 16 caste. Being able to absorb blood essence, activate skills, and unleash the power of his level was Suyu's trump card. Many times, he had relied on the power of his blood essence to reverse the situation and kill his opponents. He was indeed not as strong as a mountain sea realm warrior. Even if he unleashed the full power of his physical body, he would not even have the strength of 7,000 apertures. Even the weakest Mountain Sea Realm warrior could not compare to him. However, he was able to unleash the power of Mountain Sea for a short while. That was enough. Lei Ju seemed to have killed a Mountain and Sea Realm warrior before, but he should have killed a weak Mountain and Sea Realm warrior. The Bear Demon was not considered a strong race, but Su Yu knew many heaven-rank cultivation techniques. He had the power of the Mountain and Sea Realm from the Bear Demon, as well as powerful cultivation techniques and willpower. Could Lei Ju still kill him? If he could, then this guy would not be an expert on the profound list, but an expert ranked near the top of the earth list. Lei Ju was only a genius on the profound list. Who? Su Yu took a deep breath and thought for a while. He decided to try swallowing a drop of blood essence to prevent himself from exploding when the fight really started. He needed to understand the situation more or less. He swallowed another drop of Bear Demon blood essence. He activated the Earth-Splitting Strike talent skill. Boom! His body shook as his chi and blood boiled. His body began to crack again. It was very powerful. Su Yu could feel that his body could no longer hold on. He quickly circulated his primordial divine race cultivation technique. As a result, the divine power in the surroundings gathered once again. Su Yu secretly rejoiced that he was in Heaven Break Valley. Otherwise, it would have been difficult to handle. At this moment, that divine power was once again absorbed by him. It helped him repair his body and maintain it from breaking. At this moment, Su Yu's absorption speed of Heaven Yuan Qi was also increasing. The speed of casting his body was also increasing. After all, it was the power of the mountains and seas. At this moment, Su Yu was using the 72 cast iron at a very fast speed. A large amount of divine power had been extracted by him. Just as Su Yu extracted the divine power, Huang Ting's expression changed, and he felt a little strange. He seemed to be able to control the surrounding saber chi a little more easily. What was going on? The power that was entangled with the saber chi seemed to have decreased a little. Someone from the primitive god clan had come. Originally, the heaven-breaking valley was entangled with two powers. Of course, the saber chi was stronger than the divine power and suppressed the divine power. However, it was still entangled. If the saber chi was used, the divine power would interfere. But now, the interference was a little less. Even if it wasn't much, Huang Ting could still feel it. The others either cultivated the primordial divine art or the heaven-cleaving blade, so they could feel the slight difference. Otherwise, they wouldn't have noticed it at all. Where's that divine power? Huang Ting was surprised. He turned around and looked in a certain direction. Was it destroyed by Cui Lang? Or was it that an expert of the primordial divine race had entered? But the expert of the primordial divine race had entered, and the blade aura was about to explode. This time, no expert of the primordial divine race had entered the Heaven Break Valley. In fact, it was because of the suppression of the blade aura that their strength would be suppressed. Back then, the great Xia Emperor had attacked the primitive god clan's experts. The saber chi was targeted. As for Su Yu, he wasn't simply circulating the primitive god clan's cultivation technique. Once the saber chi gathered too much, he would quickly convert it into the heaven-cleaving saber. This way, he could disperse the saber chi. It wouldn't cause the saber chi to gather too much and kill him. Huang Ting didn't understand. He didn't understand, but it didn't matter. It didn't stop him from being happy. Not bad. With less interference, he could use more saber chi and become stronger. This was a great help to him. Beside him, Wu Qi's eyes were blurred. She had lost too much blood, and her willpower was on the verge of collapse. Huang Ting sighed. This woman, he couldn't guarantee that she would survive this time. At this point, life and death were determined. Huang Ting once again cursed at Qin Fang. Unreliable bastards. None of the bastards from the great Qin manor were reliable. If he were to survive this time, he would definitely find Qin Fang to settle the score. The saber chi had become stronger. He had also hardened his heart. Later, he would give Tian Duo a slash. Even if he couldn't kill Tian Duo, he would heavily injure him so that that fellow wouldn't have the time to chase after him again. Without Tian Duo, he wasn't too afraid of the other fellows. Today, in Tian Duan Valley, there weren't many who could win against him. Su Yu actually felt it too. When he had absorbed some of that divine power, he had also felt it. When the saber chi gathered, it was simpler and stronger. Su Yu's eyes flickered as he continuously circulated the primordial divine art. At this moment, the primordial divine art had played a huge role. Su Yu was delighted. He had used up a lot of his divine power. Later on, when he used the heaven-splitting blade, it would probably be incomparably powerful. With the mountain and sea power, if he took Lei Ju's attack head-on, would he be able to kill Lei Ju in one strike? The prerequisite was that he did not dodge or dodge. Only by taking Lei Ju's attack head-on would he be able to end the battle quickly. Otherwise, Lei Ju would also be very fast. Once he knew that he was no match for Lei Ju, he would quickly flee, and Su Yu might not be able to catch up to him. Su Yu bared his teeth. His teeth were snow white, and his smile was brilliant. Lei Ju, you're dead. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1609 1609 Chapter 366 Killing Lei Ju, continuing to run 1. The primordial divine art was activated and the divine power was consumed. The saber chi in the vicinity was gathering and getting denser and denser. Su Yu took a look. If Lei Ju wasn't an idiot, he probably wouldn't have dared to come over when he saw such a dense saber chi. Moreover, Lei Ju wasn't an idiot and would definitely suspect that it was a trap. The current him did not dare to look down on these guys. Each and every one of them was a desperado, and they were also very vigilant. Su Yu's brain was working quickly as he muttered, "Find someone to kill. The one who is strong, the one who can tie me down. Lei Ju will not suspect me once he sees that I am tied down. Otherwise, if Su Yu, who had been running away, suddenly stopped running, wouldn't people see through him at a glance? Who should he look for? He couldn't be too weak, and he couldn't be too strong either. If he was too strong, Su Yu might not be able to defeat the other party. That would be embarrassing. The floating earth spirit was actually a good choice. However, that fellow's earth evasion was a little difficult to deal with. Forget about all this. Su Yu didn't think about it anymore. He continued to run away to see if he could strike again when he encountered an expert. He quickly ran forward. The primordial divine art continued to revolve, absorbing the holy energy. It was best to absorb all the holy energy in this place. In this way, there wouldn't be any obstacles to revolve the heaven-splitting blade. Although the energy left behind by the invincible back then was powerful and of a high level, so many years had passed. The blade aura and the holy energy had worn each other out. Now, the remaining energy was spread over 100 li, but it was actually very thin. Su Yu quickly moved forward and continued to hide his tracks. He didn't intentionally reveal his tracks. These guys were all as smart as ghosts. They could even tell if they were intentionally revealing their tracks. The number of geniuses in Sky-Breaking Valley had decreased by a lot. Many of them had been killed. Some of the remaining ones had run away, while some of them thought that they were strong enough to stay. Su Yu had just traveled a few thousand meters when a golden dragon opened its mouth and bit off the neck of a huge goat. The goat's head fell off. Su Yu was stunned for a moment. A dragon also bit people. He didn't know that. This golden dragon looked familiar. Was it the guy who fought the Black Armor clan with him? It could bite people. Su Yu was stunned. It was true. Dragons could bite people. It was his first time seeing one. In fact, he didn't have many chances to see one. However, in his opinion, the dragon clan either swept with their tails or sprayed fire and water. Forget about the fact that this dragon knew how to use a sword. It even knew how to bite people. It was quite skilled. The golden dragon killed the goat with one bite. Suddenly, its figure became smaller as it looked at Suyu warily. Its eyes were filled with vigilance as its long tail swayed slightly, as if it was ready to attack. This fellow was also at the 9th level of Ling Yun, so its strength was not weak. The dragon race was also one of the top 10 races. Although the golden dragon was not the strongest heavenly dragon race, it was still a dragon race that was only second to the heavenly dragon race. Its strength was formidable. However, this little dragon might not be old. From the looks of it, the goat it killed should only be at the Lingyun realm. Suyu was observing this fellow and was considering whether he should treat this fellow as his opponent. However, this fellow's strength was really not weak. If he really joined forces with Lei Ju, Suyu would be in trouble. As he was thinking, a golden light appeared in the golden dragon's eyes. It looked at Suyu and said, "Cui Lang." Suyu was a bit surprised. He revealed himself and looked at the golden dragon. "How did you recognize him?" It was really him. The golden dragon was extremely vigilant. It took a few steps back and did not forget to collect the goat's body. "I've seen your escape art. It's very powerful. I felt that there was an expert nearby. I didn't find him, so I guessed that it was you." It was not stupid. It had seen through one of them. The golden dragon quickly said, "You want to kill me?" "That's not true." Suyu smiled and said, "We're comrades. We'll kill the Black Armor clan together." "No, you want to kill me. I feel the killing intent." The golden dragon cursed in its heart. "Do you think I'm an idiot? This fellow was so bold to actually want to kill me." It had seen this fellow kill the Red Armor clan, so it was still somewhat wary of Suyu. He said, "The ones who attacked you humans are gods and demons, not dragons. The dragon race is powerful, don't provoke the dragon race for no reason." "It's nothing." Suyu smiled. "How could it be? The dragon race, I know. Zhu Tiandao had a dragon race mount, which was also a golden dragon. The second-generation mansion master of the Great Xia Mansion also had a dragon race mount, which seemed to be a white dragon. He did not know if it was the heavenly dragon race, but the heavenly dragon race was a white dragon. However, there was a single white dragon race in the dragon race. The difference between the two was the number of claws. The heavenly dragon had 9 claws, the golden dragon had 8 claws, and the white dragon had 7 claws. Suyu did not know how many claws the second-generation dragon race had. If it was a 9-clawed heavenly dragon, there was a high probability that it was impossible. A 9-clawed heavenly dragon was equivalent to a primordial fiend god. A 7th-level sun moon could already kill a 9th-level sun moon. There was a high probability that it was a white dragon race. The little golden dragon did not say anything and continued to retreat. "Cui Lang, I won't provoke you. Don't provoke me either. There are many people who can be killed in this place. There's no need for us to kill each other. Lei Ju seems to be looking for you." "Yes." Suyu smiled and said, "Then Brother Dragon, please make way for me. I'm going to leave. You're blocking my way, so it's best if we don't have any conflicts." "Okay." The little golden dragon quickly retreated. There was a crack beside it, and it quickly entered the crack. Suyu also broke through the air and continued to fly forward. The little golden dragon watched him leave, and its gaze changed. This human gave it a feeling of danger. Just as it was thinking about this, after a while, thunder rumbled all around. In the next moment, a bolt of thunder swept past, and with a boom, the little golden dragon swept its tail past, causing the thunder to explode. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1610 1610 Chapter 366 Killing Lei Ju, continuing to run too. The little golden dragon rose into the air and looked at Lei Ju. Lei Ju's expression changed slightly as he said, "I'm looking for someone. I have no intention of making an enemy out of the dragon clan." The little golden dragon pondered for a moment before looking back. Cui Lang has just left. Lei Ju, don't blame me for being impolite the next time you sweep the area. Brother Worryless, please forgive me. Lei Ju didn't say anything harsh. They were both at the 9th level of Ling Yun, so there wasn't much of a difference in strength between the Thunder Celestial race and the Golden Dragon race. There was no need for them to fight against the Golden Dragon. After saying that, he transformed into lightning and chased after the Golden Dragon once again. The little Golden Dragon looked at his disappearing figure as his body became smaller. In the next moment, he also transformed into a ray of golden light and chased after the Golden Dragon. Perhaps he could take advantage of the situation. Lei Ju and Cui Lang had given him some pressure. "I'll take you." At this moment, Su Yu traveled thousands of meters and met another creature. It looked very familiar. It looked like a silkworm baby, but it had a big head that was similar to a dragon's head. It was a dragon silkworm. A dragon silkworm clan. The natural enemy of the Silkworm King, a great enemy that wouldn't rest until one of them was dead. It was a clan that had just entered the top 100. The dragon silkworm also sensed danger. At this moment, its body slightly squirmed, and in an instant, it entered the void and disappeared. Su Yu was startled. His eyes flickered, and in the next moment, he stepped forward and kicked out. Time revolved, and with a rumble, the void rippled. The dragon silkworm seemed to have been kicked out of the void and entered reality. The dragon silkworm was also startled. It looked at him, and in the next moment, it said, You are Wang Hu's successor." Wang Hu. Su Yu was stunned. Who was Wang Hu? He didn't recognize him. Who knew who Wang Hu was? Could it be the Silkworm Exterminating King? The dragon silkworm race definitely wouldn't call him the Silkworm Exterminating King. Calling other unrivaled kings was a form of honorifics, a form of respect for one's strength. If the dragon silkworm race called him the Silkworm Exterminating King, then he was being foolish. Su Yu couldn't be bothered to talk nonsense. He kicked down. He had some understanding. The dragon silkworm race wasn't weak. They seemed to have just entered the void, a special technique. And time was most likely created to target the dragon silkworm race. With that kick, the dragon silkworm was indeed a little frightened. Very soon, it realized that its strength was not as terrifying as it had imagined. With a low growl, it spat out a mouthful of long silk. The dragon silkworm was also very fast as it swiftly circled around Su Yu. Bang, bang, bang. In the void, the instant Su Yu and the dragon silkworm fought, a layer of silk was wrapped around them. Even the void was wrapped up. A cold look appeared in the dragon silkworm's eyes. It seemed like time was not at home yet. If he killed this fellow, the capital would reward him happily. Killing Wang Hu's descendant was a great merit. To the dragon silkworm clan, killing Wang Hu's descendant was a greater merit than killing the sun and moon. The king of silkworm exterminators had killed his way into the dragon silkworm world so many times that even the king did not dare to show his face. The dragon silkworm silk wrapped around the void and gradually wrapped Su Yu within it. Su Yu, on the other hand, was brandishing his saber non-stop. The dragon silk around him was extremely tough. Good materials for weapon forging. Su Yu sighed. This dragon silk was at the Lingyun realm and was not weak. The dragon silk that it spat out was really good for making soft armor. The dragon silk soft armor could even be used to make earth soldiers. He said that he would find the materials. Take a look. Each and every one of them was giving him materials. With the armor of the Black Armor clan and the dragon silk, Suyu did some calculations. It was not difficult to forge a powerful armor. Perhaps it could help him forge a powerful earth soldier. As for being wrapped up, Suyu was not in a hurry. He fought with the dragon silk to attract Lei Ju. Although the dragon silk was tough, it was not like Suyu could not escape or kill his way out. Meanwhile, the dragon silkworm was extremely happy at this moment. It had trapped Wang Hu's successor. Of course, it was really strong. It didn't have the confidence to kill him, so it could only say that it had trapped him. This was also the weakness of the dragon silkworm clan. Their ability to trap people was very strong, but their lethality was slightly weaker. At this moment, thunder sounded in the distance. The expression of the dragon silkworm changed. Someone had come. Who had come? Not everyone knew that Lei Ju was chasing after Suyu. At this moment, when he sensed that an expert had arrived, Long Can's expression changed. When the other party got closer, Long Can recognized him. Lei Ju. An expert from the Thunder God clan. And at this moment, Suyu, who was trapped, roared and slashed with his saber. With a loud boom, he seemed to want to escape from his predicament. In the distance, Lei Ju was also pleasantly surprised. He was trapped by the dragon silkworm clan. This fellow deserved to die. It was difficult for the dragon silkworm clan to kill him, but it was difficult for Cui Lang to escape even if he wanted to. In the past, it was the same for the Silkworm King. When he was trapped by the Dragon Silkworm King, the Dragon Silkworm King couldn't kill him either. In a fit of anger, he ate the other party and wanted to grind him to death. The Dragon Silkworm clan had more Dragon Silkworm silk in their bodies, and it wasn't just to eat the Silkworm King. Later on, the Silkworm King caused a lot of trouble in the body of the Dragon Silkworm King, and the Dragon Silkworm King had no choice but to pull him out. Bai Suo, tie him up. Lei Ju roared, kill him, and I'll definitely repay you handsomely. The expression of the Dragon Silkworm Bai Suo changed uncertainly. It wanted to run away. It wasn't too familiar with Lei Ju, but now that it was tied up with Wang Hu's successor, it was a little reluctant to leave, and it couldn't kill the other party. Now that this fellow was about to break out of the realm, it struggled a little. In the next moment, it spat out more silk. In the cocoon, Suyu's strength erupted. With a rumble, some of the silk was continuously broken. Bai Suo's expression changed again. He was so strong, and he shouted, Lei Ju, kill him. I don't want anything else, just his legs. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1611. 1611 Chapter 366 Kill Lei Ju and continue to run 3. Lei Ju was stunned. Want a leg? He is the descendant of Wang Hu. If I kill him, the Dragon Silkworm clan will definitely reward me handsomely. This time, Lei Ju was stunned at first, then overjoyed. This was the descendant of the king of silkworm exterminators. No wonder he was entangled with the Dragon Silkworm clan. In that case, there was no need to worry about the Dragon Silkworm clan turning against him, because the Dragon Silkworm clan and the king of silkworm exterminators were mortal enemies. No one would cooperate with either side if they cooperated. The king's silkworm exterminators viewed the incident from back then as a great humiliation. The Dragon Silkworm King had also been pestered by him year after year, and he was already seething with rage. He wanted nothing more than to kill his entire clan. At this moment, how could Lei Ju not be delighted when he heard those words? Furthermore, he was a little surprised and shocked. The heir of the king's silkworm exterminators. This meant that the other party knew time, yes, time battle technique. The footwork that Suyu had used to shake him off earlier seemed to have some traces of time. Time, heaven-splitting blade, God expanding hammer, many divine runes. He seemed to have caught something. As Su Yu had never been to the heavenly battlefield, they did not know much about him. However, Lei was certain that he had heard someone mention him before. Cui Lang. No, who said that? He could not quite remember, because he seemed to have mentioned it casually at that time. It was the kind that had something to do with Lu Wenyan of the Polytheistic Literature Department. Lu Wenyan. Su Yu. At this moment, this unfamiliar name appeared in his mind. It seemed to be this person. Was it him? Su Yu. The descendant of the Polytheistic Literature Department. He vaguely remembered something again. He really didn't pay much attention to it that day because that person was in the human realm and was too far away from them. Yes, it's Su Yu. The human race has released a cultivation method called the Primordial Spirit Enlightenment Technique. It's this. My father once mentioned it. He remembered. Because his father was a general in the Thunder God race's army, he mentioned that the human race had recently been promoting this cultivation method. Hence, he mentioned Su Yu, but he didn't pay much attention to it at that time. A researcher who specialized in divine runes. It was Su Yu. Lei Ju's face changed, and he quickly rushed over. First, he was surprised, and then he was pleasantly surprised. Su Yu. This person seemed to be very important, at least more important than Cui Lang. Although he didn't know how important this person was, he was the one who promoted the cultivation method that gave his father a headache. If he killed this person, he might get a huge reward. Su Yu. A loud roar sounded. Lei Ju probed for a moment, and within the cocoon, Su Yu's face was filled with helplessness. I'm just that dazzling, yet you were able to recognize me just like that. Of the myriad races in the heavens, most people wouldn't be aware of his existence. This was also his first time coming here. And yet, Lei Ju was able to recognize him. Of course, this was also due to the fact that he had exposed too much of himself. There was nothing he could do about it. Many things were unique, and not many people knew how to use them. If everyone knew how to use time, the God-expanding hammer, and the heaven-splitting blade, then Su Yu would be able to conceal himself well. The key was not that there were too few people who knew how to use it. He was practically the only one who knew how to use it. His identity was too eye-catching. Nonsense. Su Yu still shouted, Lei Ju, what are you trying to do by chasing me all the way here? Killing Huang Teng is much better than killing me. Huang Teng. Lei Ju sneered. From afar, lightning flashed and shot into the cocoon, quickly setting up layers of lightning purgatory outside the cocoon. Huang Teng said that you're more important than him. Are you a descendant of the Xia family? What? What's your name? Lei Ju was also a bit confused. Cui Lang. Xia Lang. Su Yu. Xia Yu. No matter what, this person was extremely important. If he killed him, he would definitely advance to the mountain and sea realm and become a top-tier chosen. Su Yu let out a roar and slashed out with his heaven-splitting blade. With a single slash, countless strands of silk were broken. Bai Sua, the dragon silkworm, was also thinking about the name Su Yu, and found it somewhat familiar. Just like Su Yu, if he did not go to the heavenly battlefield, he would not know the names of the geniuses from other worlds. Even if he mentioned it, he would not be able to remember it. Just like now, there were some experts and geniuses from various races. If they did not come to the heavenly battlefield, or if they did not make it onto the rankings, he would not be able to recognize them. It was the same for these fellows. He just felt that this name sounded familiar, but he just could not remember who it was. Although the dragon silkworm couldn't remember, it couldn't be bothered anymore. It quickly spat out silk and twined around it, and Lei Ju finally arrived. Once he arrived, without a word, a lightning divine spear appeared and stabbed into the cocoon. Boom! With precise control, the cocoon wasn't damaged. All of its power was concentrated on Su Yu's body. Su Yu slashed out with his saber, shattering the lightning. However, he was scorched dry by the lightning. Su Yu kept retreating. With a roar, the heaven-splitting saber exploded. He slashed out with his saber and kicked out with his leg, causing the silk to break continuously. Outside, the dragon silkworm shook violently. The silk that it spat out was broken. Lei Ju. Picasso roared. Could he kill him? Lei Ju's eyes were cold. Wait a moment. As he finished speaking, he pulled back his long spear and opened all of his acupoints. Countless lightning energy surged into the long spear. He wanted to stab this fellow to death with his spear. This is such a great opportunity. Lei Ju didn't expect that the fellow would actually be trapped by the dragon silkworm. With such a small space, I'll kill you with a single strike. He didn't dare to be careless either, so he opened his acupoints with all of his strength. The power of his acupoints was incomparably powerful. Even Bai Suo, who was standing by the side, was trembling in fear. Lei Ju wouldn't kill him after killing the other party, right? Even though there was no conflict between the two parties, and there was no conflict of interest between the two parties, and he only wanted a pair of legs, but was there a need for conflict of interest here? However, looking at Lei Ju, he felt that he had expended too much energy. With just a single strike, Lei Ju probably wouldn't have the strength to kill him. It was already good enough that he didn't kill Lei Ju, but at this moment, he felt slightly more at ease. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1612. 1612 Chapter 366 Kill Lei Ju, continue to run 4. If Lei Ju consumed too much energy, he might even kill Lei Ju later. The dragon silkworm was thinking that Lei Ju did not have any strength left, he had to be prepared. On the long spear, the power of the lightning was getting stronger and stronger. The pressure on Bishop was getting stronger and stronger. Su Yu seemed to have sensed the danger of death. He roared, "Bastard of the dragon silkworm clan, spread out the dragon silkworm silk, or else, even if I die, you won't be able to live." He also unleashed his full strength. He slashed with his long saber, and his willpower burst forth. The divine runes shook, and countless strands of silk were broken. However, for a moment, he was unable to escape. Seeing that the spear was getting stronger and stronger, and the calamity divine runes were jumping non-stop, Su Yu made a judgment. It was about time. With the power of this spear gathered, if Lei Ju could still escape, then he would be ridiculously strong. At this moment, a holy power spread out from Su Yu's body. Lei Ju was slightly stunned and was suppressed for a moment. The power of the primitive god race. This power quickly absorbed the holy power in the surroundings. In the next moment, the heaven-splitting blade exploded, and countless saber chi gathered. This wasn't enough. A drop of blood essence was bitten and swallowed by Su Yu, and the power of mountains and seas exploded. Split open the sky. A fierce shout resounded through the sky. Damn it, I've waited for you until now. If you don't die from this slash, I'll submit to you. Before the blade even came out, the cocoon instantly exploded. Boom! The entire cocoon exploded, and Bishop spat out a mouthful of blood. His eyes were filled with shock. Mountains and seas. Mountain and sea realm. This person was a mountain and sea realm expert. No, the primordial divine race, no, the heaven-splitting blade. He was in chaos. At this moment, an invisible shadow began to attack his sea of consciousness. Picasso roared, and light flickered on his head as something invaded his sea of consciousness. Lei Ju's expression changed slightly as half of his power poured into his spear. This is... There was no time to think anymore. He had already used more than half of his strength, and the long spear exploded with lightning. At this moment, he couldn't run. He could only use his spear to kill Su Yu. That was the correct path. If he ran, he would only die faster. Thunder exterminates all life. With a furious roar, the long spear floated in the air. In the air, a long spear of lightning reflected in all directions. The entire Sky Break Valley saw this spear. Lightning flashed in the sky above Sky Break Valley. The 9th level of Ling Yun of the Thunder God clan. In the next moment, a long saber streaked across the sky. The saber chi streaked across thousands of meters. This saber chi instantly sucked out all the saber chi in a radius of thousands of meters. The white fog and saber chi in the sky above Sky Break Valley instantly disappeared, revealing the original appearance of Sky Break Valley. In a faraway place, Huang Teng just happened to strike out with his saber. The saber chi trembled for a moment, and he couldn't help but curse. F***ck. What was that guy doing over there? He sucked out all the saber chi on his side, causing the saber chi from other places to rush over, causing the power of his saber attack to instantly decrease by 10%. On the other side, Tendo was first shocked, then relieved. Huang Teng, the heavens aren't helping you. Huang Teng couldn't be bothered with this. He also slashed out with his saber, traversing over 1,000 meters. The surrounding saber chi was also sucked out by him. The two of them, one north and one south, sucked out nearly 1/10 of the saber chi in the entire heaven-breaking valley. Su Yu drew even more. At this moment, he erupted with the power of mountains and seas. His physical strength exceeded the power of 10,000 apertures, and was much stronger than Huang Teng. Two long sabers slashed across the sky. Su Yu's side was longer and bigger. A slash. Everyone saw the scene. The lightning spear was cut into 2 halves by a single slash. With a boom, thunder rumbled in all directions. At the same time that Su Yu's blade fell, the lightning spear broke. However, it still exploded with lightning and charged toward Su Yu's physical body. Rumble. The power of lightning exploded on Su Yu's body. At this moment, the Tier 4 lightning word divine script revealed its power. Su Yu had been waiting for this opportunity. He had been waiting for the lightning word divine script to advance. The Tier 4 divine script possessed the power of the mountains and seas. Although Su Yu himself had not reached the mountains and seas, under the explosion of the divine script, a large amount of the power of lightning was instantly neutralized. The remaining was also rapidly absorbed by the divine script. Strengthening himself. A celestial who was close to the mountains and seas used his full strength to attack. More than half of Su Yu's attack was neutralized, but he was still charred on the outside and tender on the inside. He spat out fresh blood and his body exploded. At that moment, the blade fell. The blade shattered everything in its path. Boom! A huge explosion shook the entire heaven-breaking valley. The powerful Su Yu of the mountain and sea realm had even borrowed the saber chi of the great Xia Emperor. One could just imagine how powerful his explosive power was. As if he was chopping tofu, the blade fell down. Lei Ju's body was still in the air, but his aura was instantly extinguished, and his sea of will collapsed. His eyes widened. The lightning symbol on his forehead disappeared. He looked at Su Yu and opened his mouth. Su Yu. Is it? He wanted to know who had killed him. As for how the mountain and sea power had exploded and why he had the cultivation technique of the primitive god clan, he didn't want to know. Since he was dead, he just wanted to know who had killed him. Su Yu smiled. His hair stood on end, and a big hole appeared in his chest. It's me. Su Yu. Lei Ju was the strongest person he had killed. He was an expert with the power of the mountains and seas. Since he was dead, he should fulfill your wish. I'm a good man. I won't hide it from you when you die. I'm too kind. Of course, it was also to let him die with some peace of mind. He didn't want to become a ghost and go look for Cui Lang, even though he didn't even have the chance to become a ghost. Lei Ju was satisfied. His eyes gradually dimmed. He had roamed the heavenly battlefield for more than 10 years, yet he still died here. The moment he walked out of the deity world and stepped into the heavenly battlefield, he had made such preparations. All geniuses had such preparations. If they didn't rise up here, they would die here. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1613. 1613 Chapter 366 Kill Lei Ju and continue to run 5. There was no regret. Su Yu had more tricks than him, so he admitted defeat. If he really killed Su Yu, then Su Yu was inferior to him. Lei Ju's body was split into two, and with a bang, he exploded and turned into dust. As for Su Yu, he reached out and grabbed a storage ring. The next moment, the blood word divine script was activated, and it absorbed the blood that seeped out in all directions. Su Yu coughed and spat out a mouthful of blood. With a backhand swing of his hammer, the dragon silkworm at the side let out a rumbling sound. The sea of consciousness shook, and only then did the little hairy ball take the opportunity to drill in. The two of them had been in a deadlock just now. The little hairy ball drilled in and bit down, causing the dragon silkworm to let out a shrill cry. Su Yu did not care about all this. At this moment, a very large cloud appeared between heaven and earth. It instantly appeared and fused into Su Yu's body. An extremely powerful willpower. It was not divine text, heavenly yuan qi, or anything else, but willpower. As for the other side, the blade seemed to have dimmed a lot. Su Yu did not care, and Huang Teng was also attacking. What does it have to do with me? I want to kill, but you can't kill, so it will affect me. Anyway, I'm the one who absorbed the holy power, so you didn't put in any effort. Powerful willpower surged in, and Su Yu's willpower began to absorb crazily. In the blink of an eye, his willpower began to increase at a very fast speed. Su Yu, who had been maintaining at level 1 of Ling Yun, instantly stepped into level 2. Su Yu, on the other hand, didn't want to be like this. The God-expanding hammer struck crazily, continuously compressing his willpower. What was the point of leveling up? Advancing would give fewer benefits. It would be less if you were to skip levels. I am only level 1 Ling Yun. Before he had absorbed enough divine inscriptions, his divine inscriptions also began to rapidly absorb the willpower. All 180 divine apertures were absorbing it. Su Yu suppressed his advancement and forcefully pushed his level 2 willpower back to level 1. He did not want to advance at all. However, his strength had increased. With a backhand, he slashed out once again. The dragon silkworm, whose willpower was about to collapse after being bitten by the little hairy ball, was cut into two by his slash this time. Its willpower completely collapsed. The little hairy ball was really quite strong. In the next moment, it flew out from the dragon silkworm's shattered willpower and instantly entered Su Yu's willpower. It crazily absorbed that lump of willpower. This was mine. The fragrant one said that it wanted to pay back the debt. It was also absorbing. Su Yu did not deny it. He had borrowed a little before, and it was fine to return some now. However, if he wanted more of this thing, he could not hammer it to death. Su Yu put away the corpse of the dragon silkworm, the broken dragon silkworm silk, and the broken lightning spear. They were all good things. At this moment, the saber chi on his side spread out, and he could even see the scene outside the heaven-breaking valley. Not long after, a figure approached. The weak did not dare to come. In the distance, a white dragon approached. It was the nine-clawed dragon clan's Long Zhan. Not long after, an Mintian also approached and looked at Su Yu from afar. Su Yu smiled. In the next moment, he turned into a strong wind and disappeared from where he was. He directly broke through the heaven-breaking valley and disappeared from where he was. Long Zhan and Mintian did not chase after him. Their faces were somewhat solemn. Mintian suddenly shouted, "You have cultivated the heaven-splitting blade to this extent. You don't have the strength of the mountains and seas, but you have the power of the mountains and seas. Who are you? Is that your innate blood essence? You are not Chui Lang. Innate blood essence." In the distance, a genius thought of something and said, "Innate blood essence, innate blood essence, this is the secret technique of the great Xia Mansion's many divine languages." He wasn't Chui Lang. Definitely not. At this moment, a figure floated in the air and shouted, "Run!" With a loud shout, the black-armored expert rode on the flying tiger and crossed the sky-break valley. He casually replied, "Idiot, that's Su Yu. Who else could it be? Do you still need to ask? A group of idiots. Of course, they would be exposed sooner or later. Sky-splitting blade, innate blood essence. F***ck, if this wasn't Su Yu, who else could it be? Just ask any human and they would know who it was." Only this group of idiots were still asking who it was. The black-armored youth wasn't afraid of Mintian at all. He even took the initiative to fly towards Mintian. Mintian didn't say anything and immediately ran away. Qin Fang. He might not be able to defeat Qin Fang. Even though Qin Fang was much weaker than him and his realm was far inferior, this number one human genius's offensive power was too strong. He dared to chase after Huang Teng, but he didn't dare to chase after Qin Fang. Qin Fang didn't pay attention to him. He was just passing by. He didn't say this to him, but to a figure who was escaping in the air. In the distance, Huang Teng was stunned. "Since you're here, why are we still running? Kill! Qin Fang, where are you going? Run!" Qin Fang said this again and rode on the flying tiger, running quickly. Huang Teng was stunned again. Taking advantage of the moment when Tian Duo was injured and Qin Fang's appearance, he gritted his teeth and ran with Wuxia. Why did they run? Damn it! Let's join hands, we're very strong. That's Su Yu, don't run, come back quickly. Also, they were running towards the west, and that side was Heaven Destruction City. These guys must be stupid, why did they have to run that way? Just as he was thinking, his expression changed, and he sped up. In the blink of an eye, he ran toward the west with Qin Fang. A few top-tier human geniuses ran together, but the others didn't dare to chase after them. They were all experts, and they had the power to kill mountains and seas. As for why they had to run, they didn't quite understand. Tendo, Mintian, and the others were actually a little afraid. Really, they were afraid that if these people joined hands, it would be a big trouble. But in the blink of an eye, they had all run away. The next moment, everyone understood. In the air, a figure appeared. It had long purple hair. Madonna. Someone shivered. The number one on the heaven roll, Madonna. Everyone understood everything. Why was Qin Fang trying to run away? Madonna was chasing after him. In the distance, Huang Teng also wanted to cry, but no tears came out. F***ck. I know why you wanted to run away and why you didn't come to save me. F***ck, you actually lured Madonna here. This fellow had killed someone at the 7th level of the mountain and sea realm. On the human side, under the mountain and sea realm, no one could defeat him. Someone at the 7th level of the mountain and sea realm was killed by someone at the 7th level of the Lingyun realm. Even if Bai Tianhao of the human race had sacrificed his life, he had only killed someone at the 9th level of the Lingyun realm. Modwa Na, on the other hand, was still alive and kicking after he had killed him. This guy was probably at the 8th or 9th level of the Lingyun realm by now. When he had killed his opponent, the heavens and earth had rewarded him with an earth weapon, an extremely powerful earth weapon. What the F***ck was he fighting for? Run. As for Su Yu running away, it wasn't strange. That guy had used up all his energy with one slash. It would be strange if he didn't run away. Perhaps he had sensed the danger in the east, so he ran to the west. The truth was just as he had expected. Originally, Su Yu wanted to run to the east, so it was best to return to the human territory. However, as soon as he headed east, the Calamity character kept jumping, scaring Su Yu so much that he could only run to the west with a depressed face. What's wrong with the east? I've already killed Lei Ju, so why can't I go to the east? In midair, Maudwa looked at the place where Lei Ju had been killed. He smiled and said softly, Lei Ju is dead, and Mintian, who killed him? Chui, no, Su Yu. And Mintian was a little nervous. A celestial race at the second level of the mountain and sea realm would actually be nervous when they encountered a demon at the seventh level of the Lingyun realm. This was also the first time. Su Yu. Maudwa seemed to have thought of something and smiled. Interesting. Huang Teng, Su Yu, Qin Fang are all here. Let's go and take a look together. Let's destroy them. The human generation has also broken their bones. After saying that, he stepped on the air and chased after them. Could they run away? At this moment, everyone in the area quieted down. In that instant, too many pieces of news shocked them. Lei Ju was dead. The one who killed him was Chui Lang. No, perhaps it was Su Yu. Qin Fang had come, but he ran faster than anyone else. He didn't stay for even a moment because Maudwa was chasing after him. Tian Duo had lost Huang Teng, and the blade energy in Heaven Break Valley had dissipated. In the future, this danger zone might not be a danger zone anymore. At this moment, some people saw the changes on the list. Chui Lang, first level Ling Yun, 5th on the Earth list. Battle record, 9th level Ling Yun. 5th on the Earth list. But this was Chui Lang. What if it was Su Yu? At this moment, everyone knew that the Heaven Hunting Pavilion hadn't confirmed his identity. Or rather, the Heaven Hunting Pavilion didn't know whether Chui Lang was Su Yu or not. Otherwise, if his age changed, this ranking would definitely not be like this. Human. Celestial. Demon. A genius quickly ran away. He couldn't get involved in this matter anymore. Even the geniuses on the heaven roll had come. This was very terrifying. Whether it was Qin Fang or Maudwa, they weren't people that ordinary mountains and seas could provoke. Even Huang Teng wasn't someone that could be easily killed. In addition, there was now a fellow whose identity wasn't clear yet. He had killed Lei Ju, which caused some of the geniuses who had just entered the mountains and seas to feel a bit frightened. Those guys seemed to have run to the west. Over there were a few ancient cities. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1614. 1614 Chapter 367, Su Yu's Name 1. Several human geniuses ran away, and the Sky Break Valley was half destroyed. The number one person on the heaven roll, Madonna, chased after them. At this moment, all the living beings couldn't help but be shocked. Someone looked at the white dragon floating in the air and hurriedly asked, Lord Longzhan, was that person Chui Lang? No one was familiar with Chui Lang or Su Yu. However, it was different. Because just now, a genius shouted, Su Yu isn't even 20 years old. This sentence had a completely different effect. Chui Lang, who was 35 years old, and Su Yu, who wasn't even 20 years old, were both killed Lei Ju. According to the heaven hunting list, even though they didn't know how many people they could kill, they were at least ranked first on the Earth list. Because the people Su Yu killed were different. Su Yu killed Lei Ju, but Huang Teng's battle record wasn't weak either. Ling Yun was a 5th level mountain and sea realm warrior. However, Huang Teng was 28 years old, 9 years older than Su Yu. This was the first point. The second point was that Su Yu killed Lei Ju. Those who had killed a first-level mountain and sea realm warrior could also view him as a mountain and sea realm warrior. As such, Su Yu would at least be ranked first on the earth roll. Or perhaps he would push Qin Fang down and enter the heaven roll. Long Zhan of the Heavenly Dragon tribe ignored them and looked into the distance, not saying a word. As a genius expert of the Heavenly Dragon tribe, he was at the first level of the mountain and sea realm, but he could also kill people of a higher realm. He had once killed a great demon of the 6th level of the mountain and sea realm, but his ranking was not too high. He was ranked 11th on the earth roll. The 4 great rolls had too many factors. It was not purely based on strength. If not, Modwa would definitely not be as good as Zhan Wushuang, who was ranked 2nd. He was an expert of the 8th level of the mountain and sea realm who could kill the sun and moon. Usually, Long Zhan was very proud. But today, seeing these guys cross ranks and kill people as if they were playing, Long Zhan was powerless. He had killed someone at the 6th level of the mountain and sea realm, so he wasn't considered weak, right? Even if he encountered someone at the 7th level of the mountain and sea realm, he would still be able to fight him. In the end, Modwa, who was ranked first on the heaven list, was able to kill someone at the 7th level of the mountain and sea realm. Even he wasn't a match for Modwa. Otherwise, an Mintian of the celestial race wouldn't have been so scared. Even Tian Duo of the incipient demon race wasn't weak. However, when he met an expert of the same level as Modwa, he didn't have anything to say. He didn't dare to be arrogant, even if they had the same background. Su Yu. Long Zhan thought. At this moment, Tian Duo's expression was complicated. He glanced in the direction Modwa had left. That was his lifelong goal. Perhaps, he would never be able to catch up. He had left the devil world and come to the Sea of Desire Plains, including surrounding and killing Huang Teng. Everything had been for the sake of making a name for himself. It was all for the sake of closing the distance between him and Modwa. But today, he looked at the few devils beside him. A few had died, and there were still 3 left. Mo Erba, the Blue Shadow, and the 3-eyed devil were all present. The other devils had all died. It was all for naught. They hadn't managed to get anything. As for Mo, he was a single demon, chasing after the 3 great geniuses of the human race. No, including Wuxia, the few great geniuses of the human race had all been chased down by him. This was what it meant to be overbearing. He was so relaxed and at ease. Compared to himself, he was also an expert of the incipient demon race. However, when they surrounded and killed Huang Teng, other than heavily injuring them and killing a few fellows, they hadn't been left behind. The group of heaven's favorites was very complicated at this moment. The little golden dragon also floated up from the ground and asked in a loud voice, "Who is Su Yu?" It really didn't know. Even Cui Lang only found out this time. Now, Su Yu suddenly appeared. It didn't recognize him. It wasn't the only one who didn't recognize him. At this moment, a figure appeared in the distance. He was wearing a mask. On the mask, there were some pictures that looked like a cracked sky. Heaven Hunting Pavilion Bastard. Someone looked over, and his eyes were filled with wariness as if he was about to make a move. The Heaven Hunting Pavilion expert's voice was strange. He said indistinctly, "Everyone, don't be so hostile. I have no intention of making an enemy out of you. Everyone is curious about Su Yu, and so is the Heaven Hunting Pavilion. You might not know much about Su Yu, so let me explain a bit. A member of the Great Xia Mansion in the human realm, 19 years old. He entered the Great Xia Mansion in the human realm at the age of 18 and joined the Department of Multiple Divine Languages. When he entered the school, he was at the Yuan Opening Realm. He became Bai Feng's disciple. Everyone might not know Bai Feng, but he became Lu Wenyan's disciple when he was in the middle-tier school. Everyone should know him. When he said this, many people were surprised. This person was someone they knew. He was quite famous. Of course, Lu Wenyan had never been on the heaven hunting list, but everyone knew of his master. Great Xia Civilization Academy, 5th Generation Mansion Master Yi Badian. Invincible Sun and Moon Killer. He had been number 1 on the heaven hunting list for a full 20 years. This was the limit. When he was 20 years old, he was first on the list at 22 years old. He had been attacked countless times throughout his life. Until he was below the list in his 40s, no one could kill him. Yi Beishan's grand disciple. Some people were shocked. They were even more shocked than an invincible descendant. It was not rare to see someone who was invincible. The only person who was invincible in the Sun and Moon realm was Yi Badian. There were people who dared to fight in the Sun and Moon realm. Even if they dared to fight, it did not mean that they could win and not die. Even if they could win, it did not mean that they could kill. They could kill an invincible, the number 1 person in the Sun and Moon realm. No matter how strong a genius was, it was difficult to kill an invincible person in the Sun and Moon realm. This meant that the other party's strength had already surpassed an ordinary invincible realm. Only then could they kill him. The Heaven Hunting Pavilion member continued, Suyu joined the Great Xia Civilization Academy. In less than half a year, he entered the top 100 of the Great Xia Civilization Academy and killed the former number 1 student on the top 100 list. He was a ruthless person. Everyone listened as if they were joking. The Great Xia Civilization Academy still had some reputation. The number 1 on the top 100 list should not be weak, even though to them, the top 100 list that did not enter the sky was nothing. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1615. 1615 Chapter 367 Su Yu's name Chiu Subscribe, 2. After killing the former number 1 in the top 100, something unexpected happened. Su Yu defected to the Great Xia Mansion, killed 2 Sun-Moon realm experts in the human realm Starfall Mountain, killed many Mountain Sea realm experts, and personally killed a 7th-level Langyun realm expert. All of this happened half a year after he entered the school. Exclamations sounded again. Even the little golden dragon was flabbergasted when he heard this. He didn't even care that the other party was a member of the Heaven Hunting Pavilion and hurriedly said, he also killed the Sun-Moon realm expert. The Heaven Hunting Pavilion member said indifferently, he didn't kill him. He deliberately lured the other party to kill him. Zhu Tiandao, the mansion master of Daming Mansion, personally invited him to join Daming Mansion. For him, he didn't hesitate to offend a single divine language expert in Starfall Mountain and killed the single divine language expert, Sun Moon Jin Yuhui. After that, Su Yu joined Daming Mansion and Daming Civilization Academy. He successively introduced the now famous Dual Wu Joint Aperture Technique, Primordial Spirit Scripture Technique, Primordial Spirit Enlightenment Technique, and many other cultivation techniques. He founded the Primordial Spirit Research Institute and even defeated the top genius of the human realm, Shan Xiong, a few months ago. Shan Xiong. A creature said in surprise, him. That fellow has been to the heavenly battlefield. His name is on the 4 heaven hunting rolls, right? Yes, he is number 9 on the yellow roll. He came once and left very soon. Some people knew about Dan Xiong. He had come here and killed geniuses, but he didn't stay for long and left very soon. Even so, the other party was still number 9 on the yellow roll. It could be seen how talented and powerful he was. The member of the Heaven Hunting Pavilion continued, yes, a few months ago, Su Yu defeated Dan Xiong and almost killed him. Zhou Polong, a top-tier human realm expert, personally came to save Dan Xiong. Su Yu broke through Aperture 144 and was seriously injured. It is said that while he was recuperating, Mansion Master Niu Baidao of the Daming Civilization Academy personally protected him, and Chui Lang is the in-name disciple of Mansion Master Niu Baidao. As soon as he said this, the little golden dragon could not help but ask again, "What does breaking aperture 144 mean?" "Oh, I didn't say that." The Heaven Hunting Pavilion member smiled and said, "Suyu has opened more than 300 yuan apertures, so he may have opened 360 yuan apertures. I don't know if this is true or not. As for the divine apertures, it is said that they have opened more than 100 yuan apertures. I don't know the exact number. The outline of the divine runes should be close to 20 or even more than 20 yuan. I don't know the exact number. This, 1 year." Everyone was stunned once again. If you said 10 years, then we would just accept it. There were still many such geniuses. But 1 year, it was hard to believe. That's right, 1 year. The masked man did some calculations and smiled. No, there's still about 20 days left. The first day of the 8th month of the peaceful human realm calendar is the day of enrollment. According to the peaceful human realm calendar, today is only the 6th day of the 7th month. Silence. Soon, someone said in a low voice, "Invincible relic?" "Yes." The masked man said again, "That should be the case. Rumor has it that Suyu discovered the invincible relic in the human realm, which is why he is where he is today. Even so, it's still very impressive. The invincible relic depends on your luck and talent. Genius, who doesn't have a bit of luck? Those who didn't have luck, how could they be called geniuses?" Suyu had obtained the invincible remains. It could only be said that his luck was too strong and his luck was too strong. This was also a type of genius. A genius who didn't randomly pick up money, how could he be called a genius? At this moment, everyone understood Suyu. The little golden dragon hurriedly said, "He is Suyu." At that time, when Suyu killed Lei Ju, it was nearby. Before Lei Ju died, he asked Suyu whether it was Suyu or not. He said that it was. The little golden dragon saw it and heard it. It was Suyu. The 19-year-old Suyu. The Heaven Hunting Pavilion member hurriedly asked, "Does Lord Worryless know about it?" "Believe it or not, it's Suyu." The little golden dragon said, "If you don't believe it, forget it. It's too lazy to explain." At this moment, everyone looked to the west. Some geniuses were ready to make a move. At this moment, the void shook. 7 to 8 experts attacked the masked man. Now that they were done talking, it was time to send him on his way. The Heaven Hunting Pavilion members weren't weak, and they were talented as well. It would be a waste not to kill them. This included Long Zhan, and Mintian, Tian Duo. Many experts attacked one after another. If these people joined forces, even those at the 5th or 6th layer of the mountain and sea realm would die. Those at the 7th layer could also fight, and even if they did, they would have the confidence to kill them. After all, they were all experts from the top 10 races. The masked man smiled. Although they couldn't see his face, everyone could still feel his smile. In the next moment, a beam of light shot over, and the masked man instantly disappeared. Before he left, he smiled and said, "Welcome to the Heaven Hunting Pavilion. The Heaven Hunting Pavilion will provide you with the most comprehensive service and information." After he finished speaking, he had already disappeared. Tendo and the others' expressions changed. And Mintian couldn't help but shout, "Is this the personal escort of Invincible? Damn it, the Heaven Hunting Pavilion has an invincible existence." It was unbelievable. The Heaven Hunting Pavilion wasn't a race. It was an organization, and this organization had an invincible existence. Moreover, it was personally escorting a member away. Tian Duo said coldly, "It's not rare for the Heaven Hunting Pavilion to have an invincible existence. The Heaven Hunting Pavilion has existed for too long. When the heavenly battlefield was opened, the other party had already existed. Even in the ancient records of the demon race, this organization existed. The other party might have always existed on the heavenly battlefield for tens of millions of years. The history of the demon race was very long, so long that it was terrifying. And in the ancient records of the demon race, there was this organization. The inheritance of the heaven hunting pavilion was indestructible, which made it even more terrifying. After saying that, Tian Duo said coldly, but they're invincible, dare to attack. They are very brave. Boom! A loud sound that shook the heaven and earth was heard. Tian Duo was not surprised, including in Mintian. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1616 1616 Chapter 367, Su Yu's Name 3. The heaven hunting pavilion was courting death. If an invincible realm expert were to be dispatched here to receive them, they would be quickly detected by the invincible realm experts of some battle zones. Since that was the case, the experts of these battle zones wouldn't hold back. The heaven hunting pavilion was only an organization, and this organization was very mysterious. It was normally difficult to eradicate them, but now that an invincible realm expert had appeared, the invincible realm experts of those races had no choice but to make a move to stop the other party. After a series of rumbling sounds, everything disappeared. There was no movement. No one knew the outcome, but it was right that Unrivaled hadn't died. If he had died, the heavenly battlefield would have sensed it, and the multicolored light would have been reflected for thousands of miles. If he had died, the movement would not have been small. They hadn't seen it in all these years, but a few decades ago, someone had seen this grand scene. On that day, 3 loud sounds shook the entire world. No one cared about that side anymore. The invincible battle was too far away from them. At this moment, someone was looking at the sub-rankings. Chui Lang was still ranked 5th on the Earth roll. The heaven hunting pavilion has yet to confirm the identity of the other party. This was the answer. If it was confirmed, it would definitely change. Su Yu was not the first person to come to the heavenly battlefield while hiding his identity. However, under normal circumstances, if he stuck his head out, he would not be able to hide for too long. There was no other way. There were many killings in this place. You had to bring out your best skills. Unless he killed people to silence them time and time again, no one would be able to see him make a move. Otherwise, he would not be able to escape the situation of his identity being exposed. Tian Duo did not care about this. He looked to the west and gently exhaled. He said coldly, "Why don't we go and take a look together? There are a few ancient cities up ahead. Those few fellows might very well enter the ancient cities to take refuge." Further west was the central war zone. That was the territory of the monster race. If they were to kill their way into someone else's territory, that monster race powerhouse would take action. It wouldn't be like the Sea of Desire plains where the sun and moon couldn't find them. Therefore, the probability of entering the ancient city was the highest. The ancient city, will they go there? A creature said in fear, "It's best not to go to the ancient city. It's very strange. Only the experts of small clans will go there. They are either prisoners or wanderers." The so-called vagabonds were those who had no choice but to wander around the heavenly battlefield after their small world was destroyed. These fellows also had experts. The sun and moon weren't rare. Many of them wandered around the various regions of the heavenly battlefield. The ancient city was one of their choices. The ancient city was somewhat strange. Under normal circumstances, the geniuses and experts of the large clans wouldn't dare to enter easily. Hence, the experts of the small clans occupied the ancient city and became the overlords. The unrivaled experts of the large clans almost never went to the ancient city. The sun and moon ruled there. As for why the unrivaled experts didn't go, they didn't know, and the unrivaled experts wouldn't mention it to them. Usually, when they talked about the ancient city, they would only say a few words. They could go, but they couldn't stay there for too long. They had to be as careful as possible, they also didn't want to cause trouble in the ancient city. If they caused trouble, they wouldn't have a good ending. Such ancient cities didn't only exist in the Sea of Desire Plains, but also in other places. In the Sea of Stars, there were a few such ancient cities, and they were all very strange. Tian Duo looked to the west and said indifferently, "Since we've come to the heavenly battlefield, if others can go, we can naturally go too. It would be too regretful if they didn't go to the ancient city after coming here. Moreover, Mo Duo and the others might go." Since that was the case, he also dared to go. After saying that, he soared into the air and left. The divine flame pattern on his forehead was obvious. His emotions fluctuated slightly. Madwa Na. I won't lose to you. Being born in the incipient demon race at the same time as Madwa Na, perhaps, it was also the sorrow of the other incipient demon race geniuses. While those people were discussing, Suyu was running extremely fast. His willpower and Yuan Qi had been greatly consumed. His willpower was still fine because he had almost recovered from the heaven and earth rewards. As for Yuan Qi, Suyu was rapidly absorbing the heaven and earth Yuan Qi to recover. It was very extravagant. It was frighteningly extravagant. However, Suyu was very happy. After a huge battle, he felt great. His depression dissipated. Furthermore, the excitement of the battle allowed his body to rapidly consolidate. The divine runes also showed signs of advancing. For example, the battle divine runes and calamity divine runes both showed signs of advancing. Geniuses liked chaotic battles. It wasn't for no reason. There were rewards for killing people. It could also stimulate his own strength to improve. If he didn't fight with experts, he would be locked in seclusion and would never become an expert. At this moment, Suyu had quite a number of storage rings on his hand. He didn't care. He took out Lei Ju's storage ring and quickly opened it. As expected, he saw a booklet. He quickly took out the Heaven Hunting List booklet and opened it to take a look. He was on the list. 5th on the Earth list. 5th on the Earth list. First on the Earth list was Huang Teng. Ling Yun was a 5th-level mountain and sea realm warrior. Second on the Earth list was a powerful immortal. It was terrifying to kill a 9th-level mountain and sea realm warrior. Third on the Earth list was a 3rd-level mountain and sea realm warrior. Fourth on the Earth list was a 4th-level mountain and sea realm warrior who killed a 7th-level mountain and sea realm warrior. Next was Su Yu, 1st level of the mountain and sea realm, killing 9th level of the mountain and sea realm. It wasn't just based on strength, there were many factors. Su Yu's opponent was also someone who killed 7th level of the mountain and sea realm, but he was already at 4th level of the mountain and sea realm. There were really too many geniuses in the myriad clans. Each and every one of them jumped levels as if they were playing. The small clans were really miserable. As Su Yu fled, he looked behind him. It was a little strange. Was it very dangerous behind him? Damn it, this calamity divine text was constantly jumping. Could it be broken? It felt like the danger was coming from behind. However, the sensing jade couldn't sense anything within 1,000 meters. The 1,000-meter radius was too small, and Su Yu had no way of determining what was happening behind him. As for that earth-shattering roar, he had also heard it and didn't take it seriously. Too strong, it had nothing to do with him. I feel like it's tens of thousands of miles away from me. Perhaps it's because I'm invincible, but what does it have to do with me? It's not like there haven't been invincible battles on the heavenly battlefield before. As long as I'm invincible, I'll be fine. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1617. 1617 Chapter 367 Su Yu's name Chiu subscribe, 4. If he didn't die, it would just be a small matter. If he died, he would be invincible. That would be the big news. In the past 50 years, there didn't seem to be such a big news. It was quite a pity. What's behind it? Su Yu was helpless. This run wasn't the case. I had just killed Lei Ju and was about to kill more One Gung geniuses. In the end, I suddenly felt that I was in danger and had to run away. Was that guy Huang Ting dead? Probably not. His name was still on the list. Wu Qi was still alive. These guys weren't dead. Should I stop? Just as he was thinking about it, the Calamity Divine text jumped again. The meaning was very obvious. Continue running, stop what? The divine text was the best warning device. If he didn't run, he would die. F***ck. Su Yu was depressed. I just killed Lei Ju. He's so powerful, yet he still wants to run. What's going on? Invincible is trying to kill me. Impossible. I can even fight mountains and seas. Just as he was thinking about it, a shadow appeared behind him. It was extremely fast, as if it had gone mad. It was astonishingly fast. Su Yu quickly turned into a gust of wind to hide his tracks. That person did not care about this at all. He continued to run in this direction. Su Yu also quickly moved forward. He realized that the closer he got to him, the more the Calamity character jumped. Su Yu's heart moved slightly. This guy wants to kill me. Stronger than me. He judged from afar. His speed was very fast. He felt that he was faster than him. Otherwise, he would not have been able to catch up to him. Of course, Su Yu did not use all of his escape techniques. If he was fast, his strength should not be weak either. But was it really that dangerous? Just as he was thinking, the flying sky tiger that the black-armored young man was sitting on let out a slight roar. The black-armored young man was slightly startled and quickly said, "Who's up ahead? Is it Su Yu? I'm Cui Lang. Damn it, does anyone know that I, Su Yu, have come to the heavenly battlefield? Forget it, I don't care whether it's Su Yu or not. Let's run. That madman Modwa is chasing us. I'm Qin Fong. Goodbye." With a whoosh, this fellow deviated from the direction and quickly fled. Modwa was here. Su Yu was slightly startled. It was him. The #1 expert on the heaven roll. Qin Fong ran quickly and his voice faintly sounded, "Good luck. Find an ancient city to hide in. Don't exceed 3 days and you must come out. Otherwise, there will be trouble." With that, he completely disappeared. Not long after he disappeared, Su Yu slowed down. Sure enough, someone ran over quickly again. Huang Ting. Su Yu didn't show up, but his voice came out. Huang Ting was stunned and quickly said, "Su Yu or Cui Lang?" Then, he hurriedly said, "Whatever. Run. F***ck, crazy Modwa is here. Run. Find an ancient city and hide. Good luck. You must leave the city in 3 days. Bye. F***ck." Huang Tang and Qin Fong's words were almost repeated. Modwa was here. Go to the ancient city to hide. He had to leave the city in 3 days. Su Yu did not care about him. He quickly looked at Wu Qi, who was being held by him. He was unconscious and seemed to be seriously injured. Qin Fong ran to the right, Huang Teng ran to the left, and Su Yu was in the middle. After thinking for a moment, Su Yu quickly caught up to Huang Teng. His speed was also extremely fast. Huang Teng seemed to have sensed that someone was chasing after him, and he accelerated again. That was enough to end his old life. Su Yu couldn't help but shout through voice transmission, "It's me. How's Wu Qi? I know it's you." Huang Ting knew it was him, but he still ran very fast. He cursed, "Get lost, don't follow me. Qin Fong's heaven roll, if you're Su Yu, you're also the next heaven roll. I'm only on the earth roll. Don't follow me, don't trick me. I know, it's my fault that I hit your teacher. Don't follow me, please. The meaning was very clear. Qin Fang and you are both Maudwa's #1 target. I'm number 3. Don't screw me over. Su Yu was stunned and couldn't help but say angrily, don't screw me over. Can you run away? How's Wuxia? You really have an affair with her. F***ck, you don't do things properly. She's the goddess of our generation, even your master pursued her, you don't do things properly. This is Huang Teng. Why am I asking about official business? You're talking about this with me. This is the Huang Teng that the great Xia mansion has high hopes for. This is Xia Longwu's second. Are you F***king kidding me? This is the top heaven's pride of the human race. This is the enemy that Bai Feng has been talking about. Su Yu's heart is tired. Why does he look like an idiot? I asked Wuxia, what are you talking about with me? Huang Teng rambled on and quickly said, nothing much, I'm just going to die. I'll get used to it. If I can run, I'll live. If I can't run, even if I live now, I'll die later. Maudwa is only at the 7th level of Lingyun realm, if we work together. Stop fooling around, kid. Huang Ting shouted, do you know what it means to be at the 7th level of the mountain and sea realm? The minimum requirement was 100,000 aperture strength, and this was the 7th level of the mountain and sea realm. The lowest. The weakest. If you are a civilized master, then you are even stronger. What does a child know? If we join forces, we will kill you. Even if Qin Fang and I join forces, we won't be able to kill you. Let's run. What a load of crap. They even joined forces to kill Maudwa Na. Let's wait until we reach the 7th or 8th level of the Lingyun realm. Right now, he was only at the 5th level of the Lingyun realm, while Qin Fang was only at the 6th level of the Lingyun realm. He had yet to reach the 7th level. Qin Fang had killed a 3rd level of the mountain and sea realm, and he had killed a 2nd level of the mountain and sea realm. They were all top-notch geniuses, but the crux was that their strength was inferior to others. The minimum was 100,000 openings. Understood. Terrifying. His physical strength was more than 10 times his own, and his combat strength was not as simple as 10 times. Now, he understood. Su Yu did not waste any more words. He quickly threw a storage ring over, he shouted, that is a little bit of heaven yuan qi for saving lives and the flesh regeneration technique. You are not allowed to F***king steal it. Give it to Wuxia. Tell her that I saved her. Don't think that she is stronger than me. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1618. 1618 Chapter 367 Su Yu's name asks for a subscription, 5. As soon as he finished speaking, Su Yu instantly turned into a gust of wind. The wind word divine text burst forth, and his speed was extremely fast as he flew towards the middle direction. Run! If he didn't go with Huang Teng and the others, if he went with them, the target would be too big. Huang Teng was afraid that Su Yu would implicate him, and Su Yu was even afraid that he would bring 2 burdens with him. How good he was! If he wanted to turn wind into wind, he would turn water into water. The half-earth grade boots increased his speed, and his young apertures were half-opened. Su Yu ran as fast as he could. If he could not beat him, he could not beat him. It was better to avoid the guy who was ranked first on the heaven roll. If he met this guy who could not even fight with Qin Fang and Huang Ting together, he would definitely not stand a chance. If his physical body was less than 40 points of caste, he would not be able to kill his opponent at all. One had to be at least 40 points of caste. Once one reached 40 points of caste, one's physical body strength would exceed 80,000 acupoints. Coupled with willpower, divine runes, and half-opened young apertures, one would have a chance of fighting. Now, forget it. It was only 14 points of cast. If one casted every 10 days, it would take 260 days. It would take close to 9 months before there was a chance of fighting. Forget it, forget it. I admit defeat. Su Yu thought to himself, don't chase me. Just kill Qin Fang and the others. He wasn't too worried. Who didn't have some trump cards in the heavenly battlefield? If they didn't, then they would just die. If you don't have the ability, then why did you come to the heavenly battlefield? At this moment, the three human geniuses split into 3 directions to escape. They didn't choose to escape together. Not only were they not familiar with each other, they weren't a match even if they joined forces. If they really encountered each other, they might be wiped out in one go. Only a fool would do that. Split up and run. No matter how strong Mo Duo now was, after killing one, the possibility of him turning around and killing the second one wasn't high. Su Yu killed Lei Ju, and within a minute, he once again entered the path of escape. At the same time, at the human headquarters, Lord Xia Ho once again received the battle report from the front line. He stood up and couldn't help but curse. I thought that kid was the one who caused trouble, but in the end. Qin Fang, damn it. Qin Fang had actually lured Modwa over. This bastard was even more deceitful than Su Yu. As he spoke, Lord Xiaoho said faintly, sigh, I was thinking, is this Lei Ju too weak? Is the Thunder God clan not going to make it? It was fine if he didn't want to think about it, but now that he thought about it, it was Su Yu. Terrifying. He had only been here for a few days, and he had already killed Lei Ju. Are you King kidding me? Huang Tang had met Lei Ju, and he probably had a chance to win and kill him. There was a chance, but it might not be easy. After all, he was someone who had killed mountains and seas before. However, how old was Su Yu? How old was Huang Tang? How many days had Su Yu been cultivating? How long had Huang Tang been cultivating? Lord Xiaoho's heart was tired. At the side, the Wu family's old lady suddenly said, is he really Su Yu? According to the information from the front line, Qin Fang said that it was Su Yu. Qin Fang did not know Su Yu, but since he said so, there must be some logic to it. No. Master Xiaoho denied it. If it was true, it would be troublesome. He had to be careful to lure Invincible out. Of course, he was not sure yet. Invincible would not rashly go down personally for Su Yu. That would trigger Invincible's battle in advance. Of course, he knew that it was Su Yu, but he did not say it. If he said it, it would be a big trouble. The Wu family's old lady nodded slightly. After a long while, she said, a righteous young man. In order to save Chi-Chi, he put himself in danger alone. Sigh, he is worthy of Chi-Chi. Lord Xiaoho looked at the old lady with a dumbfounded expression. What did she mean? Old madam, that Wu Qi is older than him. Besides, that kid doesn't get along with our great Xia family. That's with the Xia family, not my Wu family. Old lady Wu looked at him strangely. What does it have to do with my Wu family? My Wu family has a very good relationship with this lineage. Look, my daughter and that bastard Lu Wenyan are all mixed up. My great-granddaughter, the younger one, has personally pursued her to the Daming Manor. Do you think this has anything to do with us? No matter how much Su Yu and the great Xia Manor do not get along, it will only be the Divine One lineage and the Xia family. They have a very good relationship with the Wu family, do you understand? Lord Xia's tone became sluggish. You're Lon Lon. Old Madame Wu nodded slightly. That was true. There was no need to bring Su Yu and Wu Qi together. Lon Lon was the same. It was just that Lon Lon was too weak. To a heaven's favorite like Su Yu, if she was weak, she would easily die. Chi-Chi had the appearance of an expert. In this way, she would follow Su Yu. She was not afraid of danger. She was a woman who rose from danger. As for the possibility that Su Yu might quickly die, old Madame Wu understood this logic in her heart. However, to the women of the Wu family, even if she only bloomed for an instant, she would have no regrets in this life. She was very clear about the character of the women of the Wu family. Find a weak person, find a mediocre person, and be an honest husband and son. This was an ordinary woman. The women of the Wu family either did not marry, or they married. They would marry a peerless heaven's chosen. Even if they fell, they would bloom with glory in this life. Old Madame Wu was thinking about this in her heart. Otherwise, other men wouldn't be able to match up to her peerless great-granddaughter. As for Huang Teng, his glib tongue made her liver ache, and she didn't want to pay any attention to him. His personality was somewhat similar to that of the damned fatty before her. She had met him once, and he hated this kind of character, not even geniuses. Lord Xiaohou seemed to feel disdain, and his face was filled with depression. This old lady, you still despise me? Speaking of which, back then, he really wanted to marry Wu Yuehua, but Wu Yuehua looked down on him. This old lady also beat him up. His entire family was not good people. Now, she actually targeted Su Yu. This old lady's thoughts, he was completely convinced. P.S. Please vote. By the way, I don't ask for leave. If I don't ask now, I'll only ask for it when I give birth. Give half a month's notice in advance. Everyone, get ready.